Yeah, we are live. Finally, live. We've had a little issues with our profiles, respectively, both of us. Got got some bands going on. I can't go live on my main for 23 more days.
Yeah,
So there's that. Dennis, you got a day left on yours?
yeah.
Something
I
like
um,
that.
yeah, I got put in Facebook jail last Sunday, so I have one more day on that. And I don't know what
Yeah.
time on Sunday I'm gonna be off, but I know when I got put on there last Sunday, it was like I want to say it was like 7 p.m. So I'm thinking 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I should my main account should be back and up and ready to talk again.
Nice, nice.
Host.
Yeah, I know that's definitely a little interesting. Like we were all great. We were all good to go. And yeah, no, it was just no random. It was like something from like I don't know, it was like a year ago that I got hit with, and it's like, oh, you're not banned or anything. You can still post. You can still you know um comment and all that, and I can still message everybody, but I can't at all go live. I can't advertise if I wanted to. Like I advertise for my I sell cars on my one page, and I can't
Yeah,
advertise. I can't advertise for that right now either if I wanted to.
right.
And I'm like, man, that's like my main thing right there, like getting some people in, like advertising. But here we are. We're done with that nonsense. So fuck. Let's talk football.
Yeah, man.
We'll go
I know.
AFC West, NFC West. We'll start NFC West. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yes,
to cut
sir.
you off there. I have a habit of that apparently.
We all right. We all right.
Let's see. I'll paste this. I'm trying to share it around a little bit, but yeah, we'll talk. Let's talk NFC West. Let's go. We'll go right to the Seahawks. 3 picks in the whole draft. 2, 4, and 6. Um, let's see who they had. Number 56 overall, a wide receiver, Dwayne Eskridge. Trey Brown, cornerback in the 4th round. And in the sixth
Okay.
round, they had Stone Forsythe. What a name. Offensive tackle. Now, my whole thing with the Seahawks right now is kind of like the Aaron Rodgers situation in Green Bay. And as far as I'm seeing it, um, Russell Wilson was frustrated. He was first, the first one that was really, frustrated with everything.
Yes, he was.
And um, it was kind of the same deal as Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the pieces he wants. His big thing is he's sick of running around, sick of, being chased everywhere. Like especially like you look at the Buffalo game last year when he just,
Oh,
there was no chance. He was running around like an idiot. And
well,
they didn't address that till the 6th round. Like round 2, there were offensive tackles. Round 4, I'm sure there were offensive tackles.
yes.
Waited till round 6. Ugh, not looking good, I don't think, over there, to be
You
honest.
know, you know what, man, and you're right about that. And and Russell Wilson, I should say, he's
We going to
to me,
basketball?
yeah. Russell Wilson, to me, he's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. And when you got a guy who is as good as Russell Wilson is, what you need to do is you need to protect him as much as possible.
Oh,
And ever
absolutely.
since he entered the league, no quarterback has been sacked more than Russell Wilson.
Ooh.
And he sacked a lot. I remember I watched both games against the Rams. I mean, I can't recall a play. Well, all 3 games actually, the 2 regular season games and then the playoff game. Russell
Right.
Wilson was running for his life in all 3 games,
Well, I mean,
and
you
I don't know how many times he got sacked, but he got sacked a lot, and he got sacked a lot by one guy. I think one guy alone had like 7 sacks on him. And
right.
I don't think it was Aaron Donald either. I think it was somebody else.
No, it was
Um,
somebody off the edge that kept coming after him. I can't think of their edge
yeah,
rusher.
but man, but I understand what Russell Wilson is going through, man. I mean, when you're getting hit as much as he's getting hit, and you're constantly running, and you didn't buffer that offensive line, and I could see why he's frustrated, and the Seahawks. I don't know what they're going to do as far as how they're going to be able to protect him in that division when you got Nick Bosa's coming back for the 49ers. You know what the Rams bring to the table defensively, and Arizona they just brought in J.J. Watt, so
Yeah. I mean,
it's
he's
good
not
enough
the
to be
same.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's not the same
He's not,
J.J. Watt he was, but I mean, with that
no,
offensive line, you
he's
don't need to be.
not.
That
No.
offense, yeah, you don't need to be. Like you could be like Jerry Hughes, which I mean, he's good for us for the Bills, but he's he's no J.J. Watt, but he was still getting. Jerry Hughes had 2 sacks on him in that game last year,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's like, can you help me out? I can see why he is upset. I absolutely would agree with him, especially if I were in his position to be top 5 QB in the league. This isn't Canadian Football League. Like to be top 5 QB, like you are like great. Like he's a Super Bowl winner, you know?
Yes.
And I don't see how they Pete Carroll mostly is screwing that up. And I wholeheartedly believe it's all Pete Carroll, to be honest.
I do too, man. And I've never been a big Pete Carroll guy anyway.
No.
He was a failed coach early in the NFL. I think he coached the Jets in the 90s. He failed with them. He failed in New
I
England.
forgot about that with the Jets.
Yeah, he went and then he went to USC where he was a massive success there. And then he gets the job in Seattle. His first couple of years they were a losing football team, and then Russell Wilson fell to them in the third round. And originally he wasn't even supposed to be their quarterback. It was supposed to be I want to say Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn, yeah.
Matt Flynn, because remember the last game of the season he was the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers the last game of the year against the Detroit Lions, and I think he threw like 6 touchdown passes in that game, and that convinced
Holy shit.
Seattle to sign him. But then they draft Russell Wilson in the third round, and Russell Wilson he just flat out beat him for the job.
Oh
And
yeah.
ever since then, he started and played every single game for the Seahawks. So he's proven that throughout his tenure there that he's incredibly durable. But there's only but so many hits a guy can take before, those hits start to add up. And like I said earlier, no quarterback in the NFL has been sacked more than him since he's been in the league. And he gets sacked at least 40 times a season. So, yeah, it's
insane. Absolutely insane.
Russell Wilson better look forward to another season of running for his life in 2021.
I mean, like I said, they waited till round 6 to even pretend to address it. Like, I mean, he clearly has made his point, and I mean, this is a make or break to keep him happy. Same with Aaron Rodgers, make or break to keep him happy, and they're breaking. They really are breaking. And let's say I was going to go over to their roster because I wanted to talk about, they where is it? This site sucks. I'll find it in a second. But I wanted to know why they felt the need to draft a wide receiver, number 56 overall. And in my opinion, was like a reach, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not sure why they even did that, to be honest.
I
Baffling.
didn't understand that either, especially when you have offensive line issues. That's where you need it. That's what you need to address to protect your franchise quarterback.
Well, that's why I wanted to look at their roster because I don't, it is that baffling. I'm going to look at their roster and see. I don't want to subscribe. See why they felt the need. Let's find Seahawks. Where you at? I know I'm kind of like rambling here, honestly. Here we go. I do that though. That happens here. Roster. Boom. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, baffling. Let's see, wide receivers. Who the hell is Connor Weddington? Maybe that's their reasoning. They wanted to change that out. But I mean, honestly, from what I see, like they have most of the people that they had last year, and like there's literally no reason for that. So for them to just like flat out bail on helping out their quarterback and just flat out bail on even making any sense, and this is going on like 4 years in a row at this point.
Yeah.
Like I don't see it. I see them dropping down. They'll probably be the third best team the NFC West, to be honest.
Well, last season they went 12-4, right?
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, and a lot of that had to just do with Russell Wilson just being really outstanding.
Yeah,
And
it was DK coming on like a fiend too, like just give me
yeah,
the ball.
DK Metcalf is nasty.
Well,
And
he's a bad boy.
Tyler Lockett, he's solid.
Yeah, I've always liked him since he came in. Yeah.
You know, I think the thing with Seattle is they're banking on we got this durable quarterback. We got one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football. As long as Russell Wilson stays upright, they've they've yet to have a losing season since he's been there. Their worst season since he's been there is 9-7. So they're
Yeah.
counting on, as long as Russell is healthy, we're going to win anywhere from 9 to 12 games.
Which,
And
I
we'll
mean,
just
is
make our
completely
team.
possible.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could definitely put the whole team on his back, but you shouldn't, because eventually his back is going to break, or, his leg. He'll be an Alex Smith. He'll be a Joe Theismann. Like, his career could be cut so short just because of the mismanagement of the front office.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's terrible. It's terrible to see, because you see a guy like Russell Wilson, and you see what he can do. Like, why wouldn't you want to help him? Why wouldn't you want to go win like 3 more Super Bowls before he retires? Completely possible, but not with their offensive line. It's
No.
absolutely baffling.
And when you go back to the Super Bowls, though, you got to go back to when they blew the Super Bowl against New England. I think that right there, when they blew that Super Bowl, that was a Super Bowl they should have won. They gave that Super Bowl away.
Oh yeah.
And ever since, and things just haven't been right. You pissed off a lot of guys. You pissed off, almost all the guys that were on that team are no longer there.
Yeah.
Except for Russell Wilson. So, yeah, man, that started a chain reaction of events that has them in the current position that they're in now.
I fully agree. And then they go ahead and, instead of trying to bolster everything, they're like, oh, our cornerback play, because we completely dismantled the Legion of Boom. Our defensive backfield is the problem now. And, yeah, a little bit, but no, that was not the problem. Like, let's be real. Like, between your linebackers and your quarterbacks and your safeties all even. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, you have a big problem there. But, I mean, Russell Wilson can and will make up for that if you let him. But you're not letting him. That's the problem. You're not letting him. And it's honestly disappointing, because I really like Russell Wilson and I really want him to do well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there comes to a point where Pete Carroll, I mean, you got to be in the hot seat at this point, right? Do you think so?
I think, like I said, as long as Russell Wilson stays healthy, they're going to win X amount of games because he's just that good of a quarterback. Like I said, worst case scenario, they win 9 games. That's just what they've done every year. And, in his 9 years, they've won at least 10 games 8 times.
Yeah.
So they're counting on, and like I said, he's yet to miss a single game, regular season or playoff, since he's been there.
Surprising.
He started every single game. So even with all the hits that he's taken and all the sacks that he's taken. So they're counting on, this guy's durable, and we know that he hasn't, missed any time due to injury. And as long as he's healthy, we're gonna be there. We're gonna win, we're gonna win 9. Like I said, they're gonna win anywhere from 9 to 12 games, and they'll be a playoff team, and they'll take their chances in the playoffs.
See, I can't even argue that at all. Like, we spot on with all of that, because I mean,
Now, worst case scenario though, Russell Wilson does get injured. This is where all those sacks and all those hits catch up to him. He gets injured, and they're drafting really high in the draft.
yeah,
Because he pretty much carries that football team. That team goes as he goes.
absolutely.
So anything happens to him, the Seahawks are finished.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I mean, especially with what's going on with their whole draft picks, like I said, I don't think this is the only year that they lost picks for that Jamal Adams trade, is it?
No.
Isn't there like one more next year that they're paying for still?
Yes.
Jesus, yeah, no, it's just this is, like I said, make or break, keep him happy or he's going to be out. And rightfully so. I would be right out too with him. Like, see ya. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. Like, I'd rather go to somewhere, like, honestly, like, he had a chance to go, like, to the Colts. And the Colts with their offensive line, like, I probably would have taken that choice, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
the rest of the team can be worked on, but that offensive line is already pretty solid. And, like, Phillip Rivers had all day to throw for no reason all year.
That game with Phillip Rivers against the Bills shows just how washed up Phillip Rivers was because he had all day to throw, and
Bills should have lost that game.
He had nothing on a lot of those throws.
Yeah, absolutely, fully agree. Like, his arm is a noodle. I mean, shit. Yeah, who was it? Who was it we were talking about last week? Noodle arms. Oh God, I don't remember, but it was like the same situation where you put a good offensive line, you get some good supporting cast, and you got a defense that can somewhat keep you in it. You're gonna go to the playoffs like the Colts did. Like, I mean, we're getting into the North or the South for some reason, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
I fully agree on that one. Let's get away from Seattle because I could shit on them all day, to be honest. Like, they're like the new Detroit Lions. I mean, maybe not quite that bad, but like decision making wise, yeah, they're that bad right now.
yeah. In terms of decision making, they lucked out when Russell Wilson panned out for them. So
Yeah.
they're thinking, okay, as long as Russell's healthy, we're going to be a viable team. We're going to win a lot of games,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be a consistent playoff team. And maybe we're not, going deep in the playoffs, and maybe we even sneak in a playoff win here and there, and before we eventually go home. So I think that's how the brass up there in Seattle are thinking.
Yeah, no, they're basically hoping at this point. They're not planning, they're hoping. And it's not going well. Like, they were a good team for, years there. And at this point, they're just wasting their quarterback. And they're doing the same, like I said, they're doing the same thing Green Bay did. They're just wasting their whole quarterback. And, both of them top 5 easily.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the year, 1 and 2 right there. You don't treat their quarterbacks like that.
No.
But yeah, let's get away from Seattle because, like I said, that could be an all-day thing. We'd be here 7 hours at this point.
Yeah, man.
So San Francisco had
49ers.
They had, they had picks in all rounds almost. No, they didn't. They had 1, 2, 2 and a third, 3 in the fifth, and a 6th rounder. So they went and picked up 2 running backs, 2 cornerbacks, Trey Lance, obviously, and then Jalen Moore in round 5. It's an offensive tackle from Western Michigan.
Nice. That's good.
And then, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. In round 5, too, he probably could have went a little higher, I thought. Also, you're going outside with Mom? Yeah. Cool. High five. All right. Yeah, that happens sometimes. But round 5, they picked safety. And, I mean, safety's from USC. Yeah, okay. But let's get right onto the Trey Lance pick. Like, what's gonna go on? Is he just battling and hopefully, sitting a year? Are they gonna get rid of Garoppolo right away? Are they just making it a battle from the get-go? What do you think?
I think Garoppolo's gonna start the season because when he is healthy for the 49ers, they do win. They have a very good record when he's playing. So I think they're going to start the season with him, and it depends. If Garoppolo, he manages the ship, and they win games, and they keep winning, then Trey Lance probably might sit out the year. But if he struggles, I think they'll let Garoppolo go to at least week 6, play at least 5 to 6 games. And if he's playing well and the 49ers are something like 4-2, 5-1, then he'll probably job for the whole season, and they'll just ride it out with Garoppolo. But
I mean,
if he gets off to a bad start, then I think they may end up going to Trey Lance.
Yeah, but that makes sense. I mean, if they're like 4-2, like you're probably gonna ride the hot hand. Like a lot of pieces are coming back from COVID. There's so many injuries that they had,
Oh,
and I mean, it's like a Patriot situation, really. Like they're bringing all these people back, and honestly, I could see them easily going 4-2, 5-1 for 6. And yeah, no, I would ride with him too, to be honest, because he is like a steady game manager. He's not gonna wow you. He's not gonna he's no Josh Allen. He's not gonna run over anybody. He's not gonna do anything crazy like that. But he is solid. He's smart. He does make good decisions for the most part. And
yes.
I mean, hell yeah, ride it out. Definitely ride it out. I would. Trey Lance, on the other hand, I was watching some highlights of him the other day, and some of the throws he was making, like, holy Jesus Christ! Like this kid's he's rolling to his left, and he's like, he just pops them shoulders and boom, other side of the field. Somebody's wide open because everybody's going to the left. You got that one person like wide open at the fucking other end of the field, and he's just throwing dimes like 45, 50 yards down the field. And I just see that, and I'm like, I'm like, that's you just need one taste of that live, one taste of that in game, and I see Garoppolo sitting. They could be like 3-3, and you put Trey Lance in there, third quarter of something, some game, and just he does something like that, it's over. Garoppolo's going to be looking for a new home.
Oh yeah, he will. Garoppolo's going to end up looking for a new home anyway, but if he gets off to a slow start, he'll just speed up the process.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You don't draft a guy as high as they drafted Trey Lance. He went third in the draft. You're not drafting a guy third in the draft so that he's going to sit for X amount of years. He's going to play. Mm-hmm. So Garoppolo's got to use this year as an opportunity to really strengthen his positioning with other teams and how much money he can make on a new team.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not going to be the 49ers quarterback much longer. I don't think past this season anyway, but it depends. If he plays well, they get off to a good start, much like they did in 2019 when they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll maintain the job for the whole year. And if not, and he gets off to a bad start, then just insert in the kid and let's see what Trey Lance can do. I can't wait to see him play.
I'm excited too. I think he can definitely be something. He's got all the tools. He's just, you got to get him in there. You got to see what happens. And I mean, like I said, if for some reason Garoppolo pulls an Aaron Rodgers and gets, he doesn't have the attitude that Aaron Rodgers has. He's a little more cool and calm. Like, goes on an MVP season just because they drafted somebody, especially third overall. Like, if Garoppolo goes like insane, ends up getting like an extension or something, like, I mean, Trey Lance, I know, but there's an if situation.
I think the best Garoppolo can do is be maybe he can maybe be a little better. He can maybe be kind of like Baker Mayfield, where he's not quite an elite quarterback, but he's a little better than a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be your ceiling for Garoppolo.
I can see him throwing some like random crazy balls, like just trying to like make himself like look better. Trying to like. I don't see him making the bad decisions though. Like going insane like that. But I see him. He's fighting for a paycheck at this point. So I could see him like going a little harder. Like I said, he's not going to go Aaron Rodgers status, but like if for some reason he does, that could be interesting. I mean, 49ers could be fucking scary at this point.
Well, then he'll make himself very appealing for a lot more teams. Then.
Nope.
Then the 49ers maybe potentially use him as trade bait to get a nice haul back for him.
Yeah, and the 49ers have been doing great draft-wise and, like, getting picks from other teams, too. So I could definitely see that as a possibility.
And they're going to get a lot of guys back this season, too. I mean, I don't know if any team was ravaged by injuries more than the San Francisco 49ers.
By injuries, no, but the Patriots had all those players on COVID and shit, too. So, I mean, that's a toss-up. Both those teams are going to come back a lot stronger than they were last year. And that's a fact. Like neither one of those teams are as bad as their record shows, and that's like we were talking our first episode about how you said the Falcons were like the best 4-12 team ever, you know.
Yeah.
Like that, I had a feeling like that with the 49ers last year, just because of injuries. Like they're better than that, and we know it.
Oh yeah, most
And
definitely.
they could take this division like nothing, like nobody's business.
They can, if guys stay healthy for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what else? Oh, Trey Sermon from Ohio State taking number 88. Um, I don't hate it, but I mean, who did they had what? They gave up Breida. Like we got Breida. The Bills did.
Yeah.
So they don't have Breida anymore. Like who else did they have in their locker room there? Yeah, I should really be on top of this better.
Is Sherman still there?
Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
I'm going to their team right now here. I should definitely be on top of this better, but hey, we do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Let's see, Sherman. This I don't like this site. I believe he was still under contract at this point.
Yeah.
Is that gonna go alphabetical order? Here we go. Roster, boom. I do not see him yet. But if Sherman's still there, I could I mean he could probably be retiring in a year or so, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like he has lost a step.
He's lost a couple steps.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice because I like his attitude because he's a shit talker like I am.
He was a great football player at his prime, man. He was outstanding in his prime.
Oh, it is amazing at that point. Yeah. Position. We'll go with position. It's so much easier. Safety. I don't see him on here.
That's no big deal.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think he's on the team anymore at this point. Is what I mean.
But I think the 49ers can be one of those teams that, bounce back and, go from a worst to first type scenario this upcoming season.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, half of it was their offense too. I mean, they had a lot of people on defense out, but I don't think the bigger names that were out were on defense. I think they were all on offense. And I mean, what we had Mostert. Mostert was out half the year?
Yeah.
At least. Yeah, no, between. So yeah, they must be like high on Mostert to get rid of Breida.
Yeah.
But other than that, they have Jeff Wilson, Eli Mitchell, Josh Hockett, Jermichael Hasty, and Wayne Gallman are all on the roster right now.
All right.
Like they have all of that for running back right now. I mean that's rough. And what's even more rough are the people behind Jimmy Garoppolo. Actually, I mean you got Josh Johnson, Josh Rosen, Nate Sudfeld. No, I wouldn't be happy with any of those. Yeah, no wonder why you picked Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That is terrible. Oh, that is terrible. Yeah, they could easily, like you said, they could easily be a worst to first. Their offensive line is solid for sure. You got three guys around 6'8", 310, 320.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, other than that, I mean, 49ers are pretty clear cut there. I mean, that's an easy one to talk about just for the fact that, it's like the Patriots. It's the same deal. They could come back and they could just tear up the division. Whether they do, I mean, hey, we'll see about that. The Rams, though.
Yeah.
The Rams.
That's the team.
That is the team. Let's see, rounds 2, 3, and 2 and 4. So they only had 4 picks the whole draft.
Man,
So that's interesting.
I think with the Rams though, the Rams don't really give a crap about draft picks. So
You're right.
that's why it makes sense to talk about other teams with draft picks. The Rams, they'll trade draft picks for a guy that they feel can help them win now.
I mean, unless it's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Because they gave up picks for Matthew Stafford. Like they gave up picks for him.
Yeah.
But normally, yeah, you're right. They don't really do that at all. Like, and I think maybe they're worried that their window is closing, so they're like, "Hey, Matthew Stafford, your window is closing too. Like, do you want our windows to close together, or you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much time either one of them, Matthew Stafford or the Rams, have left, and I think by the time Matthew Stafford's done, they aren't going to have a window anymore. They're going to pay him a decent amount, and I don't see it. Like I said, they picked a wide receiver at 57, linebacker at 103, defensive tackle at 117, and a cornerback at 130. And they didn't have anything after that. So, I mean, it's like you said, I completely agree with they don't draft the greatest, like, at all. At all to me. But then again, you see like guys like Aaron Donald, and like half their defensive line is just beast. So that's where they keep in games, I think.
I think I want to talk about the Rams as a team.
Okay.
I think they have the two best defensive players in the entire league on the same team with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I think they're two of the five best players, regardless of position. I think those are two. Last season, of all the players that I graded, I had of every player that I watched, I had Jalen Ramsey as my number one rated player. He literally shut down everybody that lined up against him, including your guy Stephon Diggs.
Did he though? We also.
I mean, how many catches did Diggs have in that game?
He didn't have a lot, but I also see where you're coming from. But then again, that was a game for Beasley because that was like a setup, Yeah. That was a setup. Like, we know he's going to cover this guy. Like, we're not going to go after him like that. But, I mean, that's a testament to how good he actually is. Like, I agree with you for the most part. Like, he is really good. I don't believe he's top 5 in the NFL good.
Yeah.
But I believe he's up there. He's top 10. I'll give him top 10 easily. Like, Jalen Ramsey is a beast, But
Aaron Donald might be the best player in the NFL.
Oh, I have no doubts. I fully agree with that one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He might be the best player in football. I mean, just what he's been able to do so far in his career. He's first ballot Hall of Famer right now.
Oh, yeah.
Record. So, hold on a
second. You're like, what is this? But yeah, no, I fully agree. Aaron Donald, easily number one, offense or defense, like anybody. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He's such a monster.
Oh, man, the Rams, they made the move to get Stafford. Matthew Stafford's out of excuses now. It's like he had all those years he was in Detroit. People said he didn't have enough talent around him. That's not an issue with the Rams.
No,
it
is not.
They're making that push. It's like we're trying to, in the next 3 years, we're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And when they made that move, so much so, they traded Jared Goff, who they drafted number 1, and even included a couple of first-round picks.
Which is crazy.
They're going all in. They are going all. I can respect it. They're going all in with Matthew Stafford. Like we're trying to make a Super Bowl push, and we're going to find out whether Matthew Stafford is made of the right stuff or not. He always had the Detroit excuse. the roster wasn't very good. They're not
The
well
roster
run.
was never good though. Like it wasn't good. It was just downright terrible for about 8 years there.
That's
0-16 with a number 1 pick at quarterback. What? What? I mean,
yeah.
I don't think it was all Detroit at that point. I mean, there could have been some. I mean, that 0-16 year though, Matthew Stafford had some injuries. There was no doubt about that.
He wasn't on that team though.
The 0-16 team? I thought he was.
No, he wasn't. That's how they were able to draft him. Is because
That's
they went.
right. I'm an idiot. I swear to God,
Yeah.
I thought he was on that team.
Yeah, he wasn't on that team.
What? Oh, I just blew my whole mind because I swear to God, I thought he was.
Yeah, he wasn't on that team.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. You got me on that one. They were not that much better the next year, though. Let's be honest.
No, they weren't. They won like 2-3 games the following year with him. So again, now he doesn't. It's like, okay, you're on a really good team now. So
you have no
it's
excuses.
shut up time for him.
Hey, what up, Delbert? How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Yeah, no, he has no excuse. He should flourish, and this could be like you said, this could be is it really him or is it really Detroit? Or, my opinion, it was always a mixture. He's got the gunslinger attitude like a Brett Favre. He's got that beast of an arm. He can throw the whole field, But he's had back injuries. He's had head injuries. I mean, let's be real. It's like you said, that's another make or break situation where, you pay all this money for this guy and he's got to show up. Like, he's got the tools around him. Like, Robert Woods, after he left Buffalo, just emerged into a fucking great route runner.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's not a Tavon Austin, that's for sure.
He's
yeah,
really
Cooper
good.
Kupp, great, yeah. Like, you have their offensive line is easily top 5, I believe.
Yeah.
I would put their offensive line top 5. Like, they were moving us around pretty well too, but our defensive line sucked.
And then, of course, and the Rams, they're defensively, they're loaded everywhere.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
loaded.
no, you cannot touch the Rams' defenses.
they got the best defense in pro football, I think.
Yeah.
It's so many pro bowlers. Yeah, man, the Rams defensively, they're loaded. Offensive line, you mentioned top 5. Got a decent running game. Robert Woods has emerged. Cooper Kupp, they got the tight end Reynolds, who's really good.
Oh,
Matthew Stafford, you're out of excuses, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of excuses.
Speaking of tight ends, I wanted to go back to Seahawks real quick though, but it's like, what do they even have anymore? Like, they just got rid of Jake Hollister. He came to the Bills too. Like, did they actually have anybody decent after that or before him?
I'm not sure, man. I think they're just gonna rely on DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Damn, that's rough. That is. Oh, that is rough. Man, I feel so bad for Russell Wilson, man. I'll keep saying it all night. I feel bad for him. Like, you might be one cocky motherfucker lately, but I see why. But yeah, back to the Rams though. Yeah, easily, like, they have every tool, and honestly, if we don't see them in the Super Bowl this year, like, there's a major problem going on.
Yeah, man. I think they're the best. Honestly, I thought going into the playoffs, they were the best equipped team to beat a team like Tampa Bay in the playoffs, because they can get after Brady. They have the secondary to cover their receivers, to cover a Mike Evans, a Chris Godwin, and even a Gronk.
I mean, that is a lot of weapons to worry about, though. You're gonna spread yourself thin, and you're gonna try to double one person, and you just doesn't matter what team you are.
But the thing is, when you got Jalen Ramsey, he's taking one guy away.
Oh, yeah.
And then you obviously got their pass rush led by Aaron Donald. They're able to get to the quarterback.
Plus, they had Sue next to him last year. Like,
yeah.
Whew.
So, no, I think Tampa had him, right?
Tampa took him away. Oh no, it was the year before that. The year before
Yeah.
that they had Sue, and then he went over to Tampa last year.
Okay.
But yeah, no, but that year, even that year before that, still, two guys like that, like holy shit, like
Rams, they just find guys that can get after the passer, man. And like I said, like you like you said, man, they don't get to the Super Bowl this year. We're gonna start looking at Matthew Stafford a little funny. It's
yeah.
like, okay, you got the team now, so we ain't trying to hear any
I might
excuses.
even look at McVay a little funny at that point, honestly.
I would too, because he's supposed to be a
That's
quarterback guru.
this new young guru who knows how to fucking deal with these kids and deal with the offense. He's such a good offensive mind, but what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a 2-point system right there. You're looking at Matthew Stafford and you're looking at McVay like what's going on, man? Like you've been here 4 or 5 years now. Something should be going on. Like you guys made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, cool. But what have you done lately? Like that's where this year comes in. And I think
Yes.
I know I'm like a broken record at this point, but that's make or break too. Like Matthew Stafford's whole career could probably be riding on this,
Yeah.
Like how much do we even think he has left, honestly, though? Back injuries and everything taken into account.
He's 33 years old, so he's not
Mm-hmm.
old.
No, he's not old.
NFL,
like in NFL years, I mean, quarterbacks don't age. Oh yeah, but quarterbacks that get hit like he did don't. Like look at Tony Romo. He had that back injury too, like that. And like that's the back injuries that is, it's one of the biggest things for quarterbacks because you need that rotation to throw. You need to be able to turn your back,
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I think that's a big thing with him last year. His mobility was not looking as good. He's not a mobile guy by any means either. But I think he had a little bit of issues with that coming back from that surgery.
Oh yeah, man. But he's got the offensive line to protect him, so
he sure does.
I can't wait. I can't wait. They're the team I'm looking forward to seeing them of every team in the NFL this year. They're the team I'm looking forward to seeing the most because I think they're the team that has the best chance to keep Tampa Bay out of the Super Bowl. So,
which let's be honest, like they could easily go right back this year. So yes, somebody's got to take them out.
and the Rams roster-wise have the best roster to deal with Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do this upcoming year. I definitely think they'll be a playoff team.
Oh yeah,
17 games. I could see them going. I could definitely see them going 12-5.
Yeah.
This year, I actually think they're gonna be the team that wins the NFC West is nasty, man. They got a lot of.
The NFC West has been nasty for about 4 or 5 years now. Like, holy shit. I mean, ever since Russell came in, it's gotten a little better because, like, let's be honest, before Russell Wilson, like, that whole division was a little trash.
Yeah, it was.
Like, before, like, 2011, 12-ish, like, that whole division was a little trash.
Yeah, it was, man. But the NFC West has really upped their game these last several years. And like you said, it started with the arrival of Russell Wilson up in the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and ever since then, man, I mean, another team in the NFC West we got to talk about are the Arizona Cardinals. They got
I was just about to say that we want to talk about getting better these last couple of years. Like,
yeah,
they have made some moves. Like, they have made some surprising moves too, even. And like, I'm not even talking about just J.J. Watt. Like, okay, they missed on Josh Rosen. Everybody missed on Josh Rosen. I mean, he was supposed to be this intelligent QB that could pick apart defenses, and he just turned out to be this overconfident little asshole that didn't apparently do what he was supposed to do. And I watched a video on his career or whatever, or lack thereof at this point, honestly. I'll send that to you later, and I want your thoughts on that because like I wholeheartedly agree with the guy that made the video. But besides that, I mean, picking up Kyler the next year, just dumping it, dumping the coach, dumping the quarterback, and just completely starting over.
Yes.
Nah, it paid off. It really did because like last year they were so much better. And I hate to say it because of the Hail Murray. Bills fan, I hate it. But it was DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, you can't stop Hop at all. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to touch him. Can't even touch him with 3 players in the end zone, apparently. So, I mean, J.J. Watt coming over. You know, didn't they have Calais Campbell there for a little bit, too?
Yeah.
Like,
They did.
damn. Like, they are making moves, for sure.
Man, I tell you what, man. Whoever finishes in last place in that division is going to be a really good football team.
Yeah. And they're going to be mad as hell because they didn't make the division at, like, 10 and something, you know? Like, or
Yeah.
9. I keep saying 9 and 7. God damn it. 9 and 8, you know, something like that. And that's disappointing because you got teams in that fucking NFC East that can go ahead and get in as low as they are.
Nobody in the NFC East can match up with those NFC West teams.
The best team in the NFC East can't touch the West.
Yes.
At all.
Even the worst team in the NFC West.
It's just smoking. Yeah. No, completely agree. Let's see the Cardinals. Let's see their picks real quick. Number 16 overall, Zaven Collins, linebacker. I mean, it's definitely what they were missing, but
yeah,
I don't know if that was the right pick, to be honest. But again, you can say that about any team. Round 2, number 49, Randall Moore, Purdue, wide receiver. They took 2 more cornerbacks within the next 4 rounds. They skipped the 3rd round. They didn't have a pick. Round 4, cornerback. 6, defensive end and cornerback. Round 7, safety and a center.
Well, you know why they didn't have a 3rd round pick, right?
I do, but I can't recall it the second.
Because they used that 3rd round pick. It was straight a 3rd round pick for DeAndre Hopkins.
That's right.
You make that trade 100 times out of 100.
Oh, I forgot how dumb the Texans are. That's right.
Yeah.
How are you gonna?
You make that trade. Man. You give up a 3rd rounder to get a
I'll give up a 1st rounder to get fucking DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we gave up a 1st rounder for Diggs, and I mean, let's be real, that fucking paid off. So and it paid off in Arizona as well for a lot less, for arguably, just as good if not better receiver.
You're not gonna find DeAndre Hopkins in the 3rd round.
No, never. I mean, Diggs was a 4th rounder somehow, and like what he's done, I mean, but I'm biased, obviously, but we saw it last year. We saw the production. We saw DeAndre right next to Diggs in production. We saw them both right there.
Yeah, neck and neck.
Yeah.
The 3-headed monster at wide receiver is DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, and Stephon Diggs.
But I'm going to be real with Devontae Adams. As much as because I'm a Packers fan second, as much as I like Devontae Adams, he is a product of Aaron Rodgers. And the year before that, he was like nothing close to what he's done this past year. And I mean, it was great to see him up there. I'm hoping it's not a fluke. Because, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins can do what he did with Kyler and then do what he did with all those really bad quarterbacks in Houston. Yeah,
he's one of those wide receivers. Doesn't really matter who the quarterback is.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
going to do work and get busy. So
he went to the Pro Bowl with Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That should tell you everything you need to know about DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I fully agree. And that's why, when they'll be going in on the wide receiver race, like you said, that 3-headed race last year. And everybody's, like I said, I'm biased. So I'm like, yeah, I love Diggs. I think he's number 1. Which, I mean, technically, yards and catches and all that, he was. But if I had to draft either one of them, I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins before Diggs.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping the Bills Mafia don't crucify me for that. But that's the truth.
Yeah, if I had to draft a wide receiver number 1 in the NFL, yeah, I'm taking I'm taking Nuke over all of them.
Oh
Over
yeah.
Adams, over Diggs, over even a healthy Odell Beckham. You name them. I'm taking
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins over all of them.
DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have the off the field problems, or not off the field problems, but let's say attitude issues that Odell would have either, though. Or like people in Minnesota would think that Diggs had as well, attitude issues, quarterback issues. Um, he just plays the game. He
Yeah.
does what he's supposed to do, and he does it well. And you can't hate on that. And I would easily take him first overall if he was, if there was a redraft. Like I don't even remember. I don't remember exactly who got drafted all the same year as him, but I would have taken him first, no problem. Like Odell, like you said, like what the fuck has Odell done lately? And like I
Well,
guarantee you, we'll be talking about him next week. That's for sure because we're doing the South next week. But Odell
we're gonna
Beckham, he dropped the
do the
ball.
AFC. We're gonna do the AFC North next week.
Most likely. I mean, it depends on Andrew too. So it depends on the whole basketball thing. But yeah,
All right.
either North or South, either one. But yeah, no, I see Arizona, and I see what they've picked right here, and like they picked up another wide receiver in the second round from Purdue, uh, Rondale Moore, which I don't hate that pick. I don't really think Zaven Collins was the best linebacker at 16, but I mean, we'll see what he does now. Yeah, I honestly don't hate Arizona. I just hate that one play they, you know. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's tough because they're in such a grueling division, man. You got the Rams, the 49ers, the Seahawks. Obviously, if they keep Russell Wilson upright. It's gonna be hard for Arizona, man. They got a nice little team, but I mean,
they
you
ain't
can say
ready.
that for all those other teams in the NFC West too.
Oh yeah, I honestly think. Uh, so I think if we're gonna go and rank them, like who's gonna take the division and who's gonna be sitting at home come playoff time. Like I'm looking at the Seahawks and the 49ers being real close for that second playoff team in the NFC.
Yeah,
And then I'm looking at Arizona. Arizona's gonna be home, sitting home by the end of the year, by the end of the regular season, honestly.
right.
And I see the Rams just head and shoulders team wise above everybody. Now, 49ers could spoil that, to be honest.
Yes, they can.
But I see them closer, 1-2 games back closer with Seattle, honestly. Like I see them fighting for the second NFC team in the playoffs there. Excuse me.
And the thing is, and the 49ers, for some reason, they seem to own the Rams these last 2, 3 years. So
Yeah.
there's another thing too. So yeah, I think it, upon initial review, I would pick the Rams to win that division. I would pick them to go something like 12-5 since now we have 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I picked the 49ers to go something like 11-6.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could totally see that.
Um, Seattle, I can see them going, like I said, as long as Russell Wilson's healthy, I think they're going to win 10 games just off the strength of him. So I could see something like 10-7. I could see them even finishing tied with the 49ers at 11-6, and it would depend on the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could
And then,
totally see that. Honestly, I could see that one coming down to strength of schedule. I could see them both taking
yeah,
one. Yeah.
and then
And then you got Arizona. I think Arizona's only going to win 9 games next year. Maybe. Like, I see it, though. I could definitely see it.
and Arizona's going to be the best last place team in football.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they
And
re-
they'll
they
even,
they really will be.
I mean,
That whole division.
I can
So
see
good.
all four of those teams, going above 500
Yeah. No, easily.
this
Easily.
upcoming season.
And I mean, that all depends on who they're playing. I haven't checked all their schedules yet,
Yeah,
but I see it. Yeah, I definitely see Arizona being like the odd man out of the good teams. Like we're really good, but we're not quite there. Like we're
yes.
getting there. We're not there yet. Give it another year or so. We'll see how they draft, and honestly, next year this whole conversation could be different.
Oh yeah. They
Oh,
play the
absolutely.
NFC West plays the AFC South.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
They may clean up on. They're
They,
going to do a lot of cleaning up on the AFC South.
oh, they're going to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man, that is going to be such a good division to watch all season.
Yeah.
And I honestly can't wait for it because I've always liked the NFC West. Like, I was a 49ers fan when I was younger with Bryce and Montana and all them. And, what was I going to say? Shit, it lost me. But, yeah, no, I was such a big fan of them. And honestly, I'm not even going to lie because we're going to talk about them a little bit. But I was a fan of the Raiders when I was younger, too. That was only because of Rice. When Rice went over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I fully agree. I think Rams, I think it could be either way for Seattle and San Fran. And then, yeah, it sucks. But Arizona's definitely probably bottom of the barrel in a really good division. Which you can't hate on that. You know, you can't hate on that at all.
They're just in the wrong. It's just the wrong division for them.
Yeah,
You know,
it's so hard.
yeah.
That's like.
And I like their team, man. But do I like them over the Rams? No.
Oh hell
do
no.
a healthy 49ers? No.
And I might like them over the Seahawks, but that all depends on if Russell Wilson can stay healthy and not get destroyed.
If Russell stays healthy, then I'm still taking Seattle over them too.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Easily.
So, yeah, man.
I think that's the NFC West right there, man.
Arizona, we like you, we really do, but yeah, man, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I don't like when you play the Bills and throw it in the end zone last second, but I do like you as a team. And on that note, you're going to be on the bottom of the barrel of a really good division. And it sucks, but it is what it is. And hopefully, I mean, maybe not, though. We could be completely wrong. Like,
yeah, we can be.
Who knows?
Maybe Kyler Murray takes that next step and he becomes what Russell Wilson is.
Yeah, it's possible. Knows, he's already got a better offensive line down there. They shored that up last year.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. I'm gonna make you wait a little bit when we go over to the AFC here, just because I know. So I'm not gonna start right off with Denver because I want to start off with the absolute shit show of the Raiders here.
Right.
The greatest thing about their number 1 pick or their number 17 overall pick is his meme collection, apparently. Like, there was a whole big thing when he got drafted. He was a meme connoisseur. He's got over 1,000 memes in his phone. And I'm like, you know what? That's my kind of guy.
Right.
But is that really worth number 17 overall pick? Like, he literally, I mean, they needed offensive line help. He's an offensive tackle from Alabama, Alex Leatherwood. And, I mean, goddamn, they reached at 17. Not going to lie. The rest of their draft, I mean, they had 4 more picks, and none of it really seems, none of it screams at me. And I know you already don't like them, so I mean, you got plenty to say about that.
I'm an objective dude, though. I'm very objective. I thought the Leatherwood pick was a reach. Mm-hmm. I actually liked the rest of the draft for the Raiders. I thought they did a decent job. I'd probably rate their draft. I thought, the Leatherwood put, on a grade, I'd probably give that an F. But I think the rest of the draft, I think, was like a B-. I thought the Raiders did a fairly good job after that pick. Other than
speaking of that, round 2 was Trayvon Moehrig, safety out of TCU, Malcolm Kuntz, defensive end out of UB Buffalo, right here in town. Round 3, Divine Diablo. Okay, I love that name, Divine Diablo. Like, that's like a heaven and hell kind of mixture. Yeah. Safety out of Virginia Tech. And then they got a pick from the Vikings through the Jets, blah, blah, blah. Compensatory. Tyree. What's that?
Who's the corner they got from TCU?
He was a safety, Trayvon Morig.
Okay, yeah, he's nice. He's
Yeah,
nice.
no, I liked him.
He's nice. I really like. I think that was their best draft. I think that's the best draft pick they've made in like 3 since Gruden's gotten there. I really like him. I watched him a
Which,
lot. I
let's be
watched a
real,
bunch.
that's not saying much since Gruden's got there.
Yeah,
But no, that
I
is a
like
really
that.
solid pick. Yeah.
I do like that pick though, man, because that cat, he made plays. Every time I watched the TCU game, I saw him out there making plays for them. So, TCU, they're one of those teams in the Big 12. They're a good team. They win a certain amount of games. They go to a bowl game, stuff like that. But
It's not anything that's going to overwhelm you, though.
no, it's a solid pick for the Raiders, though. I can see him starting right away for them.
I honestly, I could see it. I mean, their defensive backfield was not good last year. Also,
and
the linebackers.
They don't get after the quarterback either.
Well, they can't. they literally can't. I mean, you had Khalil Mack. You had this beast who also from Buffalo, and they're gonna. Yeah. So that's kind of funny because their round 3 pick was also a defensive end from Buffalo. So yeah. I just want to say, what's that say about UB and our hometown defensive ends, huh? We got something going on here. Our defensive end coach at Buffalo might be something in the future. He might make it to the NFL eventually with the shit he's putting out. But yeah, no, I mean, like you said, they're not getting to the quarterback. Their linebackers are so. Like their whole defense is just kind of meh to me.
They're bad. They're a bad defensive football team.
Yeah,
they're bad.
They tried so hard to make up for it on offense that and then they don't actually, if you want to get technical, because Gruden's just like, oh, Mario Cooper, oh, Khalil Mack, let's take 2 of the 2 best players on our team and just get rid of them, and not even get like what you should deserve out of it. You know what I mean? I think they're just an overall badly managed team at this point.
But they were decent. I mean, Derek Carr had a pretty solid year.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people make fun of Derek Carr, but Derek Carr's a top 15. He's in the top 15. He's in the upper half.
He's working with what he's got, I mean, you can only do so much.
He's in the upper half of NFL quarterbacks. Like, you can
I can see it.
Huh?
I said I can see it. Yeah.
I think he's top 15 in the league. I think he's the 3rd best quarterback in the AFC West.
I mean, obviously you got Patrick first.
Yeah.
And then what? You got Drew Lock right after that?
Yeah. Right after that. Drew Lock, he's somewhere in the top 500 somewhere.
Drew walked out of the locker room.
I sneak him in there like 449. Somewhere that's where Drew Lock is at. But but I have Derek Carr 3rd behind obviously Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert of the Chargers. But overall with the Raiders, everything's going to depend on their defense. Last year I think they were like 30th in points allowed, so they don't really stop people. They don't get. I mean, ever since Gruden became went back there, they're dead last in the NFL in sacks, so they don't get apply any pressure on the quarterback. It's just too much for the Raiders, to overcome offensively. And
it really is. And every game is a shootout with them.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it has to be, because what are you going to do at that point? You have no choice. They're going to run all over you, and then you gotta score back.
And they got up to the great start. They got up to like a 6-3 start, and then they had to win their last season of the game just to end up 8-8.
Yeah.
So
it's terrible.
Yeah, man. So the Raiders defensively, they're bad. I can see the rookie that they drafted out of TCU starting right away.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I could see the 3rd round, like I said, I'm not even being biased at this point, because like I'm not really a big University of Buffalo fan. I mean, I support them because they're hometown, but I mean they're not they're not like Ohio State, they're not Florida, they're not Alabama, But they put out some decent talent. But I
Yeah,
honestly see Malcolm Coons, the defensive end, like it's like I see him starting within the first quarter of the year. To be honest, like the way their edge rushers are going, the way their whole defensive line is, I can see
yeah.
him starting too. And I want to see Divine Diablo, the safety out of Virginia Tech. I want to see him start just so I can say his name every week. But I mean, yeah, no, I fully agree with you on them. It's just poorly run overall, poorly run. Not, I mean, they have potential. They could totally be a decent team. But when you blow it up, you bring in a new coach who used to be your coach, and he's still got them old school values, and he just blows it up. And I
Yeah.
mean, what can you do at that point? You fucked yourself at that point.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the Raiders anymore because they just. Ugh. I
Yeah.
mean, I could see like if Mike Wolf was tuning in right now, man, I like you guys, but you guys, man, piss me off.
I still think it depends on what Denver decides to do. If they do make the move for Rodgers, I still think the Raiders are gonna finish above Denver, you know, just because Carr is just a much better quarterback than Drew Lock is.
Yeah, as
So
long as he stays healthy, though.
yes.
That's what it all comes down to because he has had that knee injury, and he wasn't exactly right coming back from it right away.
Hey, let me get back with you, man. Huh? Okay,
Anyway,
okay, man. I'll be back
as
with
I
you.
was saying, yeah, no, Derek Carr had that injury. I don't see him being healthy all season, but if he does,
I had to
I'm
go
not
to
sure what happened to Dennis. Where'd he
before I
go?
came
But
pick up some keys.
let's see who else we got here. Who else we got here?
I lost my set of keys and I had Walter make a set, so I had to go pick them up.
Dudek says, "Is that Dennis?" Yes, it is Dennis.
I don't know what the hell happened to those damn keys. I've been looking for them.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man. But
But yeah, this shit's great.
all right, man. Back in the flesh, man.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I was just responding to a couple of comments. I was on the Tell Me How You Really Feel, our other page there, and Dudek was on there. He's like, "That Dennis?" I'm like, "Nah, that ain't Dennis." No. I'm like, "Yeah, buddy. Of course it is."
I'm having a hard time because I don't have my glasses on, but I can still see pretty okay.
Yeah, I think I need to get some honestly, or some LASIK or something lately, man. um, well, when you were gone there, I was still talking to the people. Well, whoever was watching at that point, but back to the whole Derek Carr thing. Like that's a very big if. Staying healthy with that knee. Like I know he came back from it and he stayed healthy for the most part. Um, but I think that's what it comes down to. Like he lost like a little bit of mobility there.
Yeah, he did.
But he's like you said, I fully agree with you. He's definitely way better than his brother was. And that's without a doubt. I mean but then again, David was like Russell Wilson, who's the most sacked quarterback in the fucking league for how many years?
He didn't last, man, at all.
No, he did not. Well, that came down to the offensive line, which, as far as I remember, the Raiders actually have one. So, I mean, that's probably one of their bright spots on their whole team is Derek Carr on their offensive line.
And Darren Waller too at tight end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, who do they have at receiver? Like nobody worth mentioning, really, right? Or they brought in Ruggs. They drafted Ruggs last year.
Yeah, they drafted Ruggs, and
Okay.
he had a moment too here and there. I know a lot of Raider fans complain about him because he wasn't as productive as they thought he would be. But
Mm-hmm.
he had a moment here and there. Nelson Aguilar, he had some good moments for them.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah. I forgot they brought him over from the Eagles. Yeah.
yeah, he was all right. And then obviously Darren Waller was outstanding for them.
Waller
So
was great. Yeah. I actually had him. I had him on fantasy. Like I didn't really play fantasy last year as much. but I definitely have him on my team, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna keep you in as long as I can. When's your bye week? No, he was solid.
Yeah, he had some big games too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raiders, I think they're gonna be one of those teams. Last year they went 8-8. I can see something around the same for them. I can see 8-9, maybe 9-8, something like that for them.
Yeah,
If
I can see that.
everything goes to the toilet, they'll probably go like if I think best case scenario they go 10-7, maybe sneak into the playoffs. Worst case scenario they go something like 6-11, and they finish in last place.
Oh yeah, I mean, I see him kind of. I see him kind of there with Denver. It could be either one. Like Denver, it all depends on quarterback play, to be honest, because
Yeah,
they do have a team. They do have an overall solid-ish team. They could definitely use some pieces either way. Um,
yes,
I mean, that goes with all of these teams. I mean, anybody could get better with more pieces. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, let's see, the Chargers even. Like the one player that I wanted on our team, the Chargers took it 13. Rashon Slater.
yeah.
I was kind of wanting to see him. He's an offensive tackle, Northwestern. I wanted to see him. Really, really wanted to see him in Buffalo. But I mean, he's going to do great for the Chargers. They also
Yeah.
got Asante Samuel. Like that one, you can't hate on that. He fucking. I thought he was going to go round one. To be honest, I thought he was going to go at the end of round one. He went like halfway around two. He was what, pick 47, round two, and I see him potentially like taking that starting spot between week 4 and 8.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that easily. And then what else? They had a lot of picks in this draft. They had 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. So they had 8 picks in this draft, 9 picks in this draft,
Yeah.
and they did nothing but get better. The Chargers went from the laughing stock of the AFC West to, potentially taking the division at some point. Not this year. There's no way they're taking the division this year.
No.
I've got the Chiefs taking that division once again, but the Chargers they did a really good job drafting. Like
They
Josh Palmer, wide receiver out of in round 3. Like, yeah, no,
they did, and they got a good all around team. I mean, obviously they've dealt with injuries in their own right. And they've just always had hard luck with guys. Derwin James hasn't really been when he has played. He was great for them when he's played, but he
yeah,
hasn't really played much because he's been injured a lot. So
yeah. And he
getting
was
him
he
back.
was touted to be one of the better, the better defense backs out there.
Well,
And
his issue is staying on the field. He can't
yeah,
stay healthy.
that's
But
absolute fact.
other than that, the dude Derwin James can play.
Mm-hmm.
He can really play.
You
But
just got to be there.
he just has to stay on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Wood, the wide receiver they drafted, he can really play too. He's another guy who can't stay on the field. Joey
Which
Bosa,
that's
he's a
kind of disappointing. Cause I like
yeah,
Mike Williams, like
yeah. Joey
Bosa
Bosa,
too.
he's a
Yeah.
talent.
Oh yeah.
So
That whole family though. That's
yeah,
like the Watt family.
oh yeah, man, they got a lot of talent over there, man, with the Los Angeles Chargers. And obviously Justin Herbert came on the scene. He emerged on the scene and just did big things.
Yeah,
And
good thing the Chargers doctor punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung, or else we probably wouldn't have seen that as soon as we did.
yeah,
I feel bad for the guy, to be honest, because that's some bullshit. Like, how you gonna stab somebody in
yeah,
the lung and you're a doctor?
absolutely.
Like, damn. Like, I feel bad for the guy. And he did play here, and he was, he was serviceable.
Omar working on him,
But
fella.
that was another thing where, you know, he's a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Tyrod Taylor is he's going to be a journeyman. He's going to do the same thing that he did in Buffalo, do the same thing he did at the Browns, do the same thing he
Yeah.
did over here at Los Angeles. So it was only a matter of time before Herbert came on and just did Herbert, and he did his thing. Like Herbert, I am definitely keeping an eye on this year because he could be the difference between a division win and not a division win. You know?
No doubt. Hey, man, I need to take a break for a couple minutes. Let's resume this in about 5.
Sure thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
All right, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. What? You up here arriving early? Aren't you glad you get home sooner? Hell no, man. I'm doing a podcast, man. I get paid to do this. We back on, man.
All right, all right. Yeah, we are back.
Yes, we are.
So we are back talking. We're gonna resume what we were talking about earlier, and we left off on the Chargers before we were so rudely interrupted. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. We were talking about Herbert emerging,
Yes.
and we were talking about just the Bosa's being healthy, or well, the only Bosa on their team being healthy. We also were talking about their draft and their first 2 picks being potential A+ picks, I believe.
Yes.
And I mean, other than that, they had a real solid draft, like overall. And I could see them easily being the second team in the AFC West, without a doubt.
I believe so too. Like I said, they got a lot of talent over there. They ended the season real well. 4-game winning streak. Justin Herbert played great football, set a rookie record, touchdown passes, and they got a new and they hired a new coach. You know, um, think he came from the Rams, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he was under McVay. Yeah, because Anthony Lynn's not there anymore, right? Yeah.
No, they fired him. But the thing is,
Oh yeah.
They didn't quit on him because they won their last 4 games. So, I respect the Chargers for that. Even though they did fire Anthony Lynn, usually when a team fires their coach, when a guy's gone, a team just packs it in, mails it in, and they just give up on that guy. The
Yeah.
Chargers did not do. They went out there and did the exact opposite. They actually won their last 4 games. So he
Wait,
actually went on a
surprising.
good. So, um, yeah, man, I definitely expect the Chargers to. I think they're going to win like 10 games, and they're going to challenge for one of those wild card spots in the
Yeah.
in the NFC.
The AFC, I mean, it switched from the last couple of years till last year, like the last 2 years before that. It was an NFC driven playoff. Like the NFC was where it was more competitive, and the AFC was like you got the Patriots and you've got a couple other teams, and that's it.
Yeah.
And now it's the Bills have come back in spectacular fashion. I'm gonna say that. But I mean, then you got the Chiefs, and then you got who else after that, right? I mean, like you said, Chargers are probably going to take it after that. I don't see anybody else in like the North really being too big of an issue. Maybe I mean I see the Browns being all right, but I don't see the Ravens being as good as they're projected to be. To be honest,
You don't?
it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I definitely I have I don't hate on Lamar Jackson at all. I'll be real with that one. Like a lot of people just hate on him because he's a running back, and I don't believe that at all because he had one of the better passing years 2 years ago. When he won the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't see them overtaking the Browns though. Honestly, I know that's a weird thing to say this day and age. I think the Browns are going to win that division. To be honest, but the AFC in general has just come up, and the NFC has just stayed good. To be honest.
I do. I like as far as the Ravens go, I just like the way they're structured. They don't get out of character. They just make moves that are just solid and just make sense for what they do. And you got John Harbaugh as a head coach. I think as long as he's their head coach, they're never going to really be terrible. Um, you know,
I agree. I do like
and
Harbaugh as a coach.
I just think, keep in mind, Baltimore dealt with a lot of things last year, and they still went 11-5. They won a playoff. Lamar got over the hump. They won a playoff game. The playoff game against Buffalo was kind of an eyesore in
I
terms of
mean,
watching
oh
both
yeah.
him
I
and
mean,
Josh
uh-huh. And then what did Josh Allen do after that? I mean, he went to the Chiefs and he stunk it up too, kind of,
Allen.
you know. So it's like it was back to back. Like, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, it could go either way, but I think the Browns got a lot better, and I think they could really just take it over, to be honest, in the North.
I can
And
respect that.
yeah,
I'm still gonna. I just like the infrastructure of the Ravens. I just
it's a very
John
solid team overall. The defense is always going to be
John
good.
Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson. I think him finally winning a playoff game. I think that helped them a lot with his overall confidence. Now he knows. And Baltimore, just the way their franchise has been historically, they've always been a better road team than a home team. So it might not be the worst thing for them to not win their division. Well, they didn't win their division last year. The Steelers did, but it was
Yeah,
Baltimore, Cleveland that won playoff games, not the Steelers.
right.
So, but but back to the AFC West. Yeah, I think the Chargers are a team. I don't think the Chargers overall are as good as some of the other AFC teams. I think to me there's three clear-cut AFC teams overall. The Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. Those are my top three AFC teams. Then,
Really?
yeah,
That yeah, no, I fully agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
obviously the Browns are good. You know, I wonder how they're going to do now that they have expectations. Because the last time people had expectations of them was the year after Baker Mayfield's rookie year, where he completely stunk up the joint.
yeah,
And then
no,
he had a
he
bounce
really
back
did.
year. And then he had a bounce back year last year where there was no expectations.
No,
So they got expectations now. Baltimore, they're kind of that team. They kind of just lay low under the radar, and the next thing you know, oh, Baltimore
I,
won
I think
11 games.
I think in Baltimore, especially kind of like in Buffalo, like I think the expectations are way higher than the rest of the NFL is going to like look at them, and I think that's
Yeah,
kind of maybe where I am, to be honest. Like I don't have anything against the Ravens at all. I
no,
don't see them overtaking either the Steelers or the Browns. But honestly, the Steelers they're taking a step back. That's for damn sure.
yeah, I can,
But yeah,
I think they're a better team than the Steelers.
oh yeah,
You give me, if I had to choose between Lamar Jackson and what is left of Ben Roethlisberger, I'd much rather have Lamar Jackson.
oh I would too. Yeah,
And
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
can actually see Ben retiring here after this upcoming season.
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't yet. I mean, but he's one of those guys. He's stubborn, and
He's the last.
we all know he don't take no for an answer. So
No,
I
and he's
mean,
the last. And he's the last one left of those quarterbacks from his draft class. Eli's retired. Philip
Philip,
Rivers
yeah,
retired. He's the last one left. So
he's the last viable one left. I mean, yeah, all the rest are either backups or working their day job somewhere.
yeah,
But
but I
yeah,
think the
back to
Chargers.
go ahead.
But, I, but back to the Chargers. I could see them going. If everything breaks right for them, if I mean everything would have to break right for them. I could see them going 11-6. But I'm gonna be on the safe side and say 9-8, 10-7, and they push for one of those wild card spots.
I could definitely see that, especially like I said, that's where we got off track there. Like the AFC has it's come back in recent years. But,
Yes.
the last 5 years, like the beginning of those 5 years, the AFC was getting trounced besides the Patriots or the
Yeah.
Steelers, and nobody else was really doing anything. To be honest, like we were all just kind of middle of the pack kind of teams and just kind of fighting for spots and hoping we got in the playoffs, like all of us.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas like the NFC, you know, like we just got done talking about the West, but like the NFC was always a little bit better those last 5 years. Now these last 2 or 3, that's a whole different story. I think the AFC has made its way back, and honestly, like it's a very even league at this point because we have great teams in both conferences.
Yes.
And Chargers coming up as possibly one of them the next couple of years. Chiefs already there. I mean, but when you got Patty Mahomes over there doing the things he does, I mean, you're gonna have that. And you got a loaded ass team too, like that, and they just shored up their offensive line finally. Yeah, they're gonna be a problem.
As long as Mahomes is upright, that dude is so ridiculously
He's
good.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, he is, man. Kansas City I think I don't know if he's quite there yet in that I call it the Brady Manning tier, where as long as they're healthy and they're playing, it's a guaranteed 12 wins every year for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New England, when Brady was there, like every year, 12-4, 12-4. Then hey, maybe throw in a 13-3 or 14-2. Same with Manning when he was with Indy, and then when he came to Denver. Every year Denver when Manning was there, 13 wins, 12 wins, 13
Oh my God,
wins.
I know, right? I fully agree.
And Mahomes, so far, he's done that. Every year, his first year as a starter, he won MVP. Uh, his second year, he led them to a Super Bowl title. They won 12 games that year. This past season, they went 14-2. They had the best record in football,
Yeah.
and he led them to the Super Bowl again. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but he got them back there, and they represented the AFC in the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They're the favorite to get back there, and they should be. They have won the AFC the last 2 years. Obviously, we'll see what Buffalo does. Let's see if they can take that next step. But
I'm not
until
even
further
going to be biased, but like with our draft moves on defense, shoring up the Chiefs' offensive line, like I think it could easily go down just like it did last year. Like I think it could easily be right back in the Super Bowl. Like I hate to say it, but we could easily lose the AFC Championship game again to them.
Yeah.
And I really don't see any other two teams that are a legit lock to be going that far. No team is really a lock, but I mean that's as close as you can get. But then again, those Browns, to what they did to the Chiefs the game before the AFC Championship game, I mean that could have went a whole different way. And that's where I'm kind of coming at with it.
Well, they were able to take Mahomes out of the game,
Mm-hmm.
And that gave them because Mahomes was moving the ball pretty much at will against them when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just so difficult. Kansas
It's
City,
so hard, yeah.
They just got so many guys. They have so many ways to get their playmakers the ball. They do crazy things with Tyreek Hill.
Oh my God, yeah, he's so nasty. Kelsey is a fucking badass. Yeah, Hardman too. Hardman's a good deep threat. He can run over the middle too really well. Like
they just got so many dudes. They just got so many guys, and they have so many ways they can get those guys to football.
And that's like what we were talking about with the Rams too. Like it's almost that kind of situation. They just have such a well-equipped team, so much depth that I mean it's hard to stop.
They're not as good defensively as the Rams, but when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you really don't need to be.
Yeah. So, he's going to keep you in it no matter what. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's really not much to say about the Chiefs at all because I mean, it's almost like talking about Tampa. Like we're going to do either next week or the week after. Like it's going to be the same kind of conversation we have about Tampa. They literally brought every single player back. And A, that's unprecedented. You don't ever see that. And B, I mean, they literally won the Super Bowl. Like, it's easily attainable again. Same with the Chiefs getting back to the Super Bowl. It's easily attainable. It's easily believable. And especially with them bringing in new offensive linemen to like help Patrick Mahomes. That Super Bowl was rough for him. Let's be real, like.
Man. And credit to Tampa Bay, they were able to get after him. You know, yeah, the Chiefs are dealing with a patchwork offensive line, but you still got to be able to get after, a quarterback, and Tampa Bay was able to do that. But the Chiefs, they shored up that offensive line. They're going to be, like I said, I could see 17 games. I could see them going 13-4, 14-3.
I could see 14-3 easy with them. Yeah.
For them, they're bringing back the 2 byes this year, right?
No.
It's still just the 1.
Yep, just number 1 ranked team gets to bye. I was so mad about that last year, man. I was like, we could have had a bye.
They lost that game to Kansas City, so that pretty much ended that for them. It's great. Yeah, it's crazy for a team to go 13-3 and not have a bye.
Yeah, that's insane.
But the Chiefs, I could see them. The Chiefs, they're boring. I don't want to waste too much time talking about them. As long as Mahomes is upright, they're gonna win 13, 14 games.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I honestly think the Chargers are more interesting than the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, they are. They're the interesting team. They could go. The Chargers, to me, they can go anywhere from 6-11 to 12-5.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like,
yes,
like you could have that big of a spread just because of 1 to 3 different positions. I mean,
yes,
like between their running back situation, if Eckler is going to stay healthy and all that or whatever, between their defensive backfield, like they were getting torched some games, like people just throwing on them at will. Like their linebackers are good. That's one thing. Their offensive line is pretty solid too, I think, honestly. And I mean, we're more looking at their defensive line as long as Bosa's going to come back healthy and whatnot, as long as he stays healthy. And I mean, shit. Like you said, I fully agree. They could either shit the bed or they could kill it and either be the wild card team or, probably just the wild card team. Probably nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna go bold prediction status right here, nothing. But I will, however, go bold prediction status for Denver, and I'm gonna say potentially you guys might win the Super Bowl if you get Aaron Rodgers.
That's the thing. If we get Aaron Rodgers,
if
we get everything for Denver to me this season is dependent on whether we get Rodgers. Because I just don't think Drew Lock's any good. So whatever Denver has to do, whatever John Elway, all you guys, whatever you got to do to get Aaron Rodgers, get him in there. Whatever it takes. So, hell, if you got to make a pact with Satan, do that. Whatever it takes.
Isn't that what they did to get Peyton, though?
Yeah, we did. And
so, I mean, you can only sell your soul one time. So,
well, you know what? Well, I mean, Peyton Manning was a free agent, though. So
that is true. It's not like you're trying to take him from his team.
I can't even count Peyton as Peyton. He had his choice of teams, and a lot of teams wanted him. And he ended up going to Denver because he felt, okay, they got a really good roster. If they were able to win a playoff game with Tim Tebow, certainly I could come in here. And the 4 years we had him, we had the best record in the NFL during that time. We went to 2 Super Bowls, we won a title. I don't think we won a Super Bowl with our best. I wouldn't even say that 2015 team was Denver's best team. I actually thought the best team that Denver had in the Manning era was the team that lost to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Flacco was able to somehow get the Hail Mary, completed.
Hail Marys, man, they kind of like give me PTSD lately, honestly.
I'm still not really over that, man. You know what? I'm still not over
They gave it a nickname, Hail Murray. They gave it a nickname. I hate it.
Whatever.
Yeah, I hate it. All of it.
I'm still not. Well,
But
ours was bigger than yours because
mhm.
ours
Oh yeah,
was in a playoff game.
yeah. No, ours actually. If they would have won that game, they might have actually made it into the playoffs. But I mean, or they did win that game. What am I saying? It's, yeah, I completely lost that train of thought. Never mind
Yeah,
on that one. Just strike that.
well,
We'll
yeah,
edit that
because
out.
because they already had the loss. They would have just finished
Yeah.
14-2, but they already lost to Kansas City because Kansas City had the tiebreaker over them. So
Okay. Yeah.
it would have just meant they went 14-2. But yeah, the Flacco play, man. I got over the Super Bowl loss to Seattle quick because we were out of that game early. But
Yeah.
in
Seattle was
that
just
moment,
such a good team that year.
oh my God, they
They still
were.
had everybody too. Like,
I even said I pissed off a lot of Broncos fans that not going into the season. I'm like, I have Seattle and Denver in the Super Bowl, and I hate saying this as a Bronco fan. I think Seattle's gonna win, which
and
is
then
why I
boom,
was
it happened.
NFC Championship game. I was rooting so it was like, well, my Super Bowl pick is Seattle Denver with Seattle winning, but objectively, I think we match up better with the 49ers. And I was rooting so hard for the 49ers to win.
I would have
And
too.
because we matched up better with the 49ers.
Mhm.
Everything that we did played to Seattle's strengths. So when Sherman made that one of the best plays in the history of football of
On
the
Crabtree
NFL,
there.
Crabtree, yeah.
Yeah, you
And
come at me with no sorry ass receiver like Crabtree. Oh yeah.
I was like, damn it, man. It's like I'm thinking the 40, Kaepernick was leading the 49ers down. It's like, yeah, come on, Niners, come on, let's go. But,
Nah.
and then Sherman made that play. And it was like, damn it.
You probably look like Crabtree too. Like you see Crabtree. I wish I could pull up a picture of him right now. You just saw Crabtree after that, and he's just like, shit. Like, oh,
Sherman used every bit of that 6'4" frame of his to get his hand on that ball.
oh yeah.
Um,
That was probably the best like defining play of his career. Like
oh yeah,
polarizing play easily.
they'll play that play forever.
Oh yeah. No, what they do is they don't play the play forever. They play his fucking rant
That soundbite.
afterwards. Yeah, all the time. Oh my god, I see that in like every fucking video lately. Like the last 4 or 5 years. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Like I gotta see this again. Like we get it, Sherman.
And,
But
but
that I agree with you there. Like I had the 49ers going that year, to be honest. And I was probably just as disappointed.
that NFC title game was so physically different. I mean, that was like one of those old school, like 1980s type of football games. It's like,
Yeah, they just let them hit. Let them hit.
the hitting in that game, that hit that Cam Chancellor put on Vernon Davis. Oh my God. That literally changed that dude's whole career after that. Like Vernon Davis was never the same after that hit.
Oh,
Cam
you're
Chancellor.
not wrong. I didn't even think about that till now. But yeah, you're not wrong at all. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that game was just like physically different. And who knows, maybe the 49ers, may have done the same thing to Denver because them and Seattle were pretty much kind of like the same type of team.
Yeah.
Even though I felt we matched up better with the 49ers,
Hmm.
it's like,
They were
but
very
man,
similar that year, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, they were,
they were more defensively like sound than offensively. Either
yeah,
team, to be honest. Like even the Seahawks, like I think their better offenses were years after that, like
they
Doug
were,
Baldwin, Tyler Lockett years, like the last couple of years, few years after that.
yeah,
But yeah, that was definitely defense. That was definitely just hitting. It was old school. I fucking loved it, to be honest. I thought
yeah,
it was
it was,
great.
man, it was like, wow, these are like good, clean hits too. It wasn't like dudes hitting each other in the helmet or
Yeah,
injuring each
no,
other.
they weren't trying to be dirty or nothing. It was just a physical game. Like it was a legit good game. It wasn't, it's not Vontez Burfict versus the Steelers or nothing,
No, no, nothing like that.
like
Nothing like that.
no, it was a respectable game. Respectable hit.
Yes,
Like solid.
yes,
Yeah.
it was, man. It was a
Fully
great
agree
game.
with that.
But
But yeah,
back to
back to yeah, go ahead.
um, it's like I said, Drew Lock, Sorry, folks, all y'all watching. Drew Broncos fan. Drew Lock ain't it. He's
No,
just not.
nah.
Um, I mean, last year he was up there in turnovers. Denver, we were dead last in the NFL in turnovers. Pretty much every game we were good for 3 or 4 turnovers a game,
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
You can't win in this league if you're constantly turning the ball over.
No.
And Drew Lock, he had the worst quarterback completion percentage of any quarterback in football. I think his QBR rating was near the bottom too. I think it was like second or third worst, if not the worst. So overall, and it's not like Drew Lock didn't have weapons. You got plenty of guys. You had Philip Lindsay. You have Melvin Gordon. I'm not a big Melvin Gordon guy, but he still got talent. You had Jerry Jeudy. You had Tim Patrick, Noah Fant. Just inexcusable for him with the weapons that Denver has for Drew Lock to be as ineffective as he was.
He should not have been as bad as he was.
No.
I fully agree with you. It's like I've kind of liked Denver since like 1998, but I always liked the Packers a little more. So to see both of them in the Super Bowl, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like I love both these teams, blah blah blah, And then I don't know, I just kind of like fell out of love with Denver for a little while there. And I mean, after Sharp was gone, Terrell, his career was cut short. And, Elway and all of them. Obviously, Elway just being Elway. That helicopter will never not be played on ESPN and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that was one of those to see like for years there. Like it was pretty fucking disappointing. And it was down to those two teams, which I liked the most. I was only 9 years old at that point. And it came down to Brett Favre over Elway, and it came down to just the success. So I stayed a Packers fan, or I'd be right with you with Denver right now. And but no, half of it comes down to like the front offices. Yeah, since John Elway took over, there's been some upside, but there's been a lot of downside. And I mean that quarterback status. I mean focusing on quarterback, not shoring up the rest of your team. Like your offensive line was terrible for like 3 years there. Like there was nobody in there, and people were just running all over you. You had fucking Bosa coming on the edge, just like walking in because nobody wanted to block him. So, I mean, I don't mean to shit on your team right in front of your face. I'm sorry, but
no, it's cool. No, it's cool. There's plenty I can say about Denver. I mean, and Denver's not a very disciplined team either.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Denver was a team, had a lot of penalties. And when you're last in the league in turnovers, it speaks to a lack of discipline. And
yeah.
Ball security should be the number one job for a quarterback.
And I feel that wholeheartedly because the last 2 years with Josh Allen were horrendous. Fumbling, interceptions maybe not so bad, but fumbling, he could not hold on to the ball for his life. He would get hit. He's a big boy. He'll run you over. You slap his arm and he's dropping the ball.
Yes.
This last year, not so much, but I fully agree because keeping the ball and keeping it in your chest, whatever. That could have been a huge difference, and we could possibly won 2, 3 more games those years just because of that. So I fully agree with you that it's all discipline, and if Josh Allen can do it and get better, maybe Drew Lock can. Hopefully he did something over the offseason, or hopefully he's training with somebody to help him out with that. But I feel for you right now.
Well, hopefully you won't have to because hopefully they'll make the move to get Aaron Rodgers. So
I will instantly be like on the hype train with you, and I swear to God I will be. I mean, I can't help it. Like if it's Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen in the playoffs, man, I can't help that. But otherwise, yeah, no, I'd be right there with you if Aaron comes over, because I have liked Aaron since he came in. Yeah. That comes back to being a Packers fan second, But yeah, Denver. You get so much potential, so much fucking it up.
Yeah, man.
But that comes back to the Raiders too. That's like an AFC West thing for a while there. The Chargers were like that too for a while. And, I mean,
Yeah.
Chiefs were
Even
the
the
only competent team for like 10 years.
yeah, even the Chiefs. I mean, obviously, ever since Andy Reid has been there, they've been more stabilized.
Miles above. Yeah.
Easily. Denver and the Chargers, the Raiders, they've been through so many head coaches during that time since Andy Reid has come into the division, and he is pretty much over the last several years, he has owned the AFC West. I think the Chiefs record lasts like I want to say 6 years. I think the record's something like 32-4 or something like
Something crazy like that. Yeah.
that. I mean, so
Insane.
they've owned the
Yeah.
AFC West.
Well,
So
that's like when Andy Reid was in Philadelphia. He owns the NFC East. Like the
yeah,
Cowboys weren't doing shit. I mean, Washington never does shit.
for a long
But
time.
yeah, it's an Andy Reid factor. He is
Yeah.
a great
He's
coach.
a quarterback guru. He really is a QB guru. I mean, he
Hmm.
got the best football out of McNabb. He
Oh
even,
yeah,
Jeff Garcia had a resurgence under him.
that's right. Oh my
Michael
God.
Vick had a resurgence under him.
Well, I mean, that was a whole different story right there. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. I agree because what other quarterback guru or coach would you have wanted him to be under coming back like that?
Well,
Probably Andy Reid.
look at what he did with Alex Smith.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and but
Alex Smith went to work under him.
yeah, but then they got the special guy in Mahomes,
Oh yeah,
and
it's
Kansas City's
over.
Kansas City's gonna, as long as Mahomes is healthy, they're gonna be in the Super. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl every year. They're not even gonna get to the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, they
But they're
aren't the
gonna be in the
Patriots.
discussion. They're gonna be in the Super Bowl
Oh yeah.
discussion for the
They'll be top
foreseeable.
5 AFC teams for the next 10 years, probably, as long as
I,
Mahomes is healthy.
I'd say top 5 NFL teams. Forget
I'm
the
not
AFC.
going to disagree with you. Yeah.
They're gonna be. They may. I don't know if they're gonna go on as long of a run as New England did, because that just doesn't happen in football.
No, but if any team's going to do it, they're probably going to be the closest ones to do
They're
it.
the best equipped team to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but if we could get our shit together on the offensive line and we can get our shit together on the defensive line, like we could be in that conversation too, but there's no way we are even going to do that in Buffalo. Like the Chiefs are better prepared than we are, and I mean it's not miles ahead anymore, but they're a couple steps ahead of us even.
Yeah,
To be honest,
they're
like you said, top 2 NFL teams, top 5 NFL teams.
yeah they're gonna be in the discussion. There's always about 5 teams that can win the Super Bowl every year.
Hmm.
They're one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're and as long as Mahomes is healthy, they're gonna be in that top 5. Just like the Patriots with Brady. They didn't win the Super Bowl every year or go, but they were always in the discussion.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, no
so
matter what. I mean, the beginning of every single year, you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? And I'm like, man, I'm sick of hearing this shit, but you're not wrong.
that's what you
I
gotta
think
keep.
everybody was sick of that after the first 10 years, and then the second 10 years, it just kept going. Like after that 2008 season, we were all so happy. And then Matt Castle. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like Matt Castle, speaking of the Chiefs, he was there for a while.
Yeah,
And he wasn't anywhere near what he did that 2008 season. And it's like, what happened? Like, can you not do this in my division, please? But I mean, yeah, like back to the Chiefs, like I don't see anybody really just dethroning them. And I'm not gonna like just throw our bills out there, be like, oh yeah, we can do it, we can do it. I mean, it's possible here and there, but it's them Chiefs, man. They are tough. They are going to be tough for
yeah.
years and years to come. And there's no doubt about it.
You just gotta hope your Buffalo can. Kansas City has like a 10-year run where they go to like 6 or 7 Super Bowls. You just gotta hope
We
these
hope we're
teams.
the other 4 or 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the team that sneaks sneaks in there. Maybe Baltimore sneaks in a Super Bowl appearance or two.
Yeah, that could.
Yeah, you just gotta hope. Yeah, you just gotta hope. Your team in those years that Kansas City's not in the Super Bowl. You just gotta hope that was our year.
Yeah.
For your team, for the Bills. Obviously, if Denver gets Rodgers, they'll have a window with him.
Oh God, yeah, they're gonna have at least a 5-year window, I would say, just because even on Rodgers' bad days, he's gonna outperform, 30 other quarterbacks. Like I don't see besides Brady, obviously, because he just knows how to put up numbers. He just knows how to play the game so well. Yeah, but he's not gonna be around forever either. Hopefully. Better not. Nobody better learn how to clone people. And if they learn how to clone people, it better not be Tom Brady. I'm done. But yeah, no, I fully agree. I fully agree that your whole season in Denver comes down to quarterback play. You absolutely there's no other way to say it. Did you check out that guy that I told you to check out? That's Good Sports. Did you watch him at all? The guy that. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you should, because he's like a huge Denver fan. He's been like clamoring for Aaron Rodgers. And,
you sent me one of his pieces, right?
I think so. Yeah, it should be in your inbox. Yeah.
I got one of those pieces that you sent me. I checked that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but everything. But yeah, man, we gotta get Rodgers though.
You gotta get somebody. Like, and at this point, if it's not Rodgers, you're already looking at next year. The way you were saying, that's terrible when that happens. Because I know those years too. I felt that when we drafted EJ Manuel. Like I felt that, and I'm just like, no, this isn't the year. I'm like, we on to the next year. Like you guys, Von Miller got his Super Bowl, but you guys are like, he's getting up there. He's. I mean, who do you guys? You guys got rid of what? You got rid of Chris Harris, right?
Yes, he's a giant.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh, in the division too. Damn.
He went to San Diego last season.
Yeah, that's right. LA now. Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, Oakland, or I mean, so yeah, this division I see, and I mean we just talked about it for quite a while, but you got the Chiefs.
Yes.
Way up here.
Yes.
And then you got the Chargers a few steps down.
Yes.
And then you got a fight between Oakland, I did it again, Las Vegas and Denver. Yes. And you got a fight between the two of them. But if you get Rodgers, they're going to fight with the Chargers. So, I mean, I don't see them with or without Denver, or with or without Aaron being able to hold off Mahomes all year long.
No.
So, I mean, it's just you got Patrick Mahomes, you're just fucking blessed. So, I mean, yeah, that's how I see the division shaking up. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but
I do. I've had Kansas City in the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I picked them to win in 2019. I think I picked them to win in 2022. That didn't. When Tampa Bay kind of.
I mean, everybody picked them to win in 2020. Let's be real. Yeah. Especially the run they went on.
Yeah, but I've had Kansas City winning the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Right. So I did not have them winning 2019 because I didn't exactly know what Patrick was going to do or be capable of. But I totally had them winning it this year.
Yes.
He's so special. There's nothing else you can do about it.
And they're going to be in the hunt to win again this upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily engineer what happened to them in the Super Bowl this past season and get back there and this time win it.
And I think they did with that offensive line change.
Yeah.
I don't agree with all of their offensive line moves. I think the one dude they probably should have kept instead of getting rid of him, to be honest, because he was one of their better pass blockers, but he got hurt. Yeah. Like I think those two offensive linemen they got rid of that got hurt got a raw deal, to be honest. And when they are healthy, whatever team they are on, they're going to contribute very well. But they did replace them, and they did draft. So we will see, I guess. Last thing I want to say, though, because you mentioned it real quick, and you said his name, and I know you're not the biggest fan of him, but we got to talk about Tebow to the Jags.
Yeah.
It happened. I thought it was just going to be a fucking like, oh, here's a tryout because I used to be your coach, blah blah blah. You know, I'll entertain you. It fucking happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt. I watched the video and I did the same. I'm like, yeah, wow, oh yeah, that's a thing now. Wow,
It's good.
Like it's been 8 years.
It's good to have friends in high places, man.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I wish
Holy
I had
shit.
a couple of friends in high places too.
Yo, I mean, I'm here, but I'm just high.
Well, that too. Yeah, we might as well address the elephant in the room.
You gotta.
with
This will be more
Ken
fun to talk about when Andrew's back too. It'll be hilarious because you know how he feels, and I know how you feel.
I mean, he's going there to be what, a tight end?
Yep.
A lot of people would argue that's the position he should have played all along.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or fullback.
I mean those barely exist nowadays, but yeah, no, absolutely. He should have been something. He's an athlete, you know. He is an athlete,
Yeah,
and he was Taysom Hill before Taysom Hill even was in the NFL. And I mean, I fully agree. Where you know, after that horrendous year in Denver, and I'm like, you know, just please switch positions. You're an athlete. You'll still get money. You'll still get paid.
yeah,
And then
be a tight end because at least you'll see the field. Because like you said,
Yeah.
fullbacks are kind of becoming like an endangered species.
Yeah, because people are running two-back sets and they're just putting their bigger back in front now. Like, there's no reason for a fullback anymore. Nobody's going to get a Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a real, like you said, it's not a real fullback. It's just a bigger running back.
Yeah.
More likely. Instead of the running back that's like 190 pounds, it's the running back
that's like 220 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But now Tebow, he's now willing to try a new position. You know, maybe
Is it too late?
Huh?
Is it too late?
Yes, it's too late. He hasn't played a live game since 2012, man.
And the games that he did play were the slowest sport in fucking America, baseball. You know, you're not ready for contact. You're not in football shape. You're in baseball shape. Believe it or not, it is two different things. Like, that's like getting in basketball shape. You need more cardio than you need bulk, you know?
When you see some of these baseball players, man, some of these dudes be hella out of shape.
But, yeah.
Guys like Bartolo Colon going out there, dudes, these Oompa Loompa looking pitchers.
Oompa Loompa motherfuckers.
Some of these outfielders look fat. You know, it's like,
which that's surprising because they got to run them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like the athletes on a baseball team. And it's like, I saw one center fielder, he looked like he was like 265, 70 pounds. Like, you're a center fielder. Like, that's like that's like the prime position for like, that's where you put in baseball. Are you, bro, can you hear me? Turn your mic on, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It like hit my lap. I don't know, man. That shit's dumb.
Yeah, but in baseball, like, you put your best athlete in center field.
Yeah.
That or shortstop. And, you know, I'm seeing these baseball players with like 265, 70 pounds playing center field. Like, man, we got some fat asses out here.
That's like, who was that big ass pitcher? Like, way bigger than Roger Clemens. Like, oh, God, he was like 320 throwing 97. And I'm like, damn. Like, I don't watch baseball that much, but when I do, I'm like that is a big boy. Like, good thing you're only standing on the mound right now because you're going to get out of breath just looking at the batter. But, yeah, no, Tebow's the same thing. Like you were saying, like, he's stayed in shape. Let's be real. Like, I saw a picture of him the other day. He is in shape for his age.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's football ready though. Like I said, like baseball ready is different than football ready. So
You know, but he may be. But frankly, obviously, there's some nepotism going on here because Urban Meyer, um, the whole connection with the University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think a big part of this is maybe with us talking about Tim Tebow with the Jacksonville Jaguars, guess who we're not talking about?
You're gonna
The
say
guy
it,
they
aren't you?
just drafted, Trevor Lawrence. We're
Mm-hmm.
not talking about him. So if we're talking about Tim Tebow, that
Keeping
might
that,
make
keeping the attention off of him because he's a rookie quarterback in a shitty team. I see. You don't want him. Yeah, you don't want him to look as bad. So you're gonna put somebody out there who's gonna look worse. Is that?
I think it's a conduit, you know. I mean, I just think it's a Tebow is something of a distraction. That
Mm-hmm.
way, a guy like Trevor Lawrence, with all the focus on Tebow, you know, and him trying a new position, Trevor Lawrence can just do because he's been the most hyped up quarterback
Oh yeah.
to come into the NFL in years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talk about how great a guy like Patrick Mahomes is. Wasn't this highly. Trevor
He
Lawrence
wasn't
been highly
hyped.
touted since he was in high school.
Yeah, the hype is different, but the
Yeah,
production it could also be different. Trevor Lawrence was shit the bed for all we know.
yeah. But I don't think Trevor Lawrence will. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do pretty well in the league.
I think he's gonna finally get his first regular season loss, but I mean that's obvious playing for the Jaguars.
Yeah, man. Well, that's obvious playing in football. Even
Yeah.
in the NFL, even if you're great, you're going to lose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean Patrick's had a ridiculous record, like you said. Like, could we see Trevor get some crazy record? Probably not. I don't see it.
No, not with Jacksonville.
No.
Because number one, he doesn't have Andy Reid as a coach. You know, we know what Urban Meyer represents in college. He's probably one of the 5 best college coaches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's a whole different life, man.
oh yeah, it is, man. But there's not a lot of college coaches that have. The only college football coach that really successfully made the transition to the pros was Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. I mean,
All
if you
the
want
other
to,
guys,
if you want to get technical, Carroll. I mean, he's got the Super Bowl under him, and he's had an okay
yeah,
team for a while. But that's not
Carroll.
Jimmy Johnson by any means, though.
No, but Jimmy Johnson came straight from college.
Yeah,
You know, Pete Carroll had a couple of NFL head coaching jobs
that's
before
right.
he got.
He did have a little experience. That's right. We did say that earlier. Yeah, which that makes a little more sense. But realistically, like in that sense, I guess then yeah, no, I wouldn't even consider him anywhere near or in the same league as somebody like Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy came from college to the
Mm-hmm.
pros. Was successful. Urban Meyer's been coaching, you know, college football. He's been coaching 18 to 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
So now, you know, it's going to be a whole lot different for him now in the NFL. I'm interested. You know, one thing about Urban, he doesn't stay at a place very long. You know,
I've
so
noticed that. Yeah.
his track record, even going back to college, he coached it. I want to say his first job was Bowling Green. Yeah,
It
Bowling
was something
Green.
like that. Yeah.
Then he coached Utah with Alex Smith. Alex
Yeah.
Smith became the one pick in the draft. Then he went to Florida. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he recruited Tim Tebow. He recruited all those dudes. Aaron Hernandez, all those guys, the Pouncey twins. I
Yeah.
keep saying,
Yeah.
man,
Wow.
we need
Pouncey
a
twins, man. They were great.
we need a 30 for 30 on the 2008 Florida Gators. We
I've
really
been
do.
saying that with you. I agree with you on that. I've been
we
saying
need
that,
that.
dude.
We need that. You had a preacher and
A
turned out to be
pastor and a murderer.
and they were roommates.
Yeah. That's the
Tim Tebow
crazy
and Aaron
part.
Hernandez were roommates in college.
Yeah. How much of a like sneaky motherfucker you gotta be to get like some
But
pastors
they
are
met a
like
couple.
pastors are the ones that will get any secret out of you. Like you will tell them anything just because of how they are with you. And for him to just be like, nah, I didn't kill nobody.
Especially teammates.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that motherfucker. He had some shit going on, man.
House twins were wild in college too, man.
Yeah,
They had Percy Harvin on that team.
that's right. Yeah.
They had a Riley Cooper was on that team.
Yeah. Wow, Jesus Christ. That's just such a loaded team. Holy crap.
Yeah, dude.
No wonder. No wonder.
Yes, we need not even a 30 for 30. We need a mini series on the
Like a documentary of some sort. Yeah.
on the 2008 Florida Gators.
Like I want to hear from Tebow himself about Hernandez. Like I want to know the gritty little details. I want to know like the pillow talk. You know what I mean?
I have a feeling Tim Tebow isn't the goody two shoes that you know.
And maybe that's why he pushed it so much, pushed that agenda, pushed that personality, because he's got some secrets. He got some secrets.
Yeah, because when I watched the thing about, I'm sure you watched that whole thing on Netflix or about Aaron Hernandez, right?
I did not yet, actually.
You should check it out. It's really good. I think it's
3
parts. It's really good, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I've been wanting to, I just haven't got to it yet.
A couple of times they went out clubbing, and it's like Aaron Hernandez, he's going out clubbing in the clubs with Tim T. was like, hold up. Aren't you supposed to be like 21 to go to clubs?
Yeah, right?
Hold up. So you got underage Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez hanging out in these spots, and Aaron Hernandez would start trouble and all that. They would drink like, whoa, hold up, Tim Tebow out and about. That's why, man, ain't no way in the world he went through as famous as Tebow was in college. All the temptations, the parties, all the women. There is no way in the world he left the University of Florida, and you were as big as he was. There's no way that dude was still a virgin. No way.
Nah, not at all. Lying ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Credit to those females who kept everything on the hush hush and didn't air out his business like that. But you're not about to tell me. Yeah, you're not about to tell me. Yeah, I mean he got an image to uphold. Good Christian. Pray all the time. I'm all about the all that other stuff. You gotta keep that up, and can't keep that up if you out here, banging every hot chick on the University of Florida campus.
Oh man, I feel that hard because like I always thought that when I was younger too, watching him, and I'm like, you hear his press conferences, you hear like him talking on the field, like, oh man, Jesus led us to this win and blah blah blah, and I'm like, there's something else. There's something else going on here, and now, for him to come back to Florida, he going back to Florida, man. Nah, there's some shit going on again. I guarantee it. Like you said, it's a distraction. Urban Meyer's using it as a distraction because he's not sure how, Trevor's going to play out. And maybe all the focus on this hyped up QB is not a good thing. So, let's make another headline, bringing in Tebow. Like you said, I agree on that. Honestly, that's a good one. Yeah.
You want to draw the attention away from your ballyhoo quarterback that everybody's been talking about. Bring in Tim Tebow.
Everybody talking about Tebow. I mean, we're talking about Tebow now. So yeah.
And who's to say he even makes the team?
Like I said, that's where I was saying baseball shape's different than football shape. We'll see how if he makes it past the 90 or whatever cuts to get to 53. Who do they have at tight end right now? Jacksonville. Nobody special, right? Yeah, it's a possibility, man.
Number one tight end, I think Skip Bayless mentioned has like a career 12 catches.
Oh,
for his career.
Tebow's gonna be a tight end in the NFL this year. It's happening, bro. It's happening. It is happening.
T-Law's gonna be throwing passes to him.
You got T-Law to Tebow, T down. I swear to God, if Tebow goes to the playoffs again and wins another playoff game, I'm gonna come back here and be like, Dennis, what the fuck?
Man, I'm rooting for Tim because I like him personally. by all accounts, he gives off the vibe he's a good dude. Even though I think
There's some shit. Yeah, there's some shit going on. He might not be completely honest with the world.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. But then again, it's always those guys who bring the most attention to themselves too. Like you're trying to stay under the radar so much that you're above the radar at that point. You know?
And Tim clearly loves the spotlight.
Oh yeah.
He can't get enough of it. I mean, that's why he's now willing. It's like he wasn't willing to try out to be a tight end 6-7 years ago, but now he's willing to try to be a tight end.
Well, his baseball career ain't exactly going as well as it should have, or he wanted it to. So I can see exactly that. Yeah.
I think he retired from baseball.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, I would too at that point.
How do you retire? I mean, I guess you could retire from the minor leagues because he never made it to a major league roster.
He was playing with the Mets, wasn't he? Like for a little bit, or is it just
like their minor league system?
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I thought so because he was hitting dingers for a little bit there, but he wasn't doing much of anything else.
I mean, he had his strikeout percentage though was like ultra high. Like he struck out like 45% of the time he went up the bat.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I mean, when he finally connected though, woo! But that ain't enough to really give a shit about anything at that point.
Yeah, you go up there 100 at bats, and maybe you hit a couple home runs or so, but you're striking out 45 times out of those 100 at bats.
Yeah, it's not acceptable.
That's just not gonna work.
Nah, that's like him throwing like 35 or 55 total yards in the one game for Denver, and I'm just like, it's the fourth quarter, bro. Like you gotta. Can you do something?
Some of those games were so bad but funny at the same time.
Right, it's still entertaining.
Had to just grin and bear it. It's like damn.
But you got to do this for my team.
He really is. Damn, he really is like 6 for 22 for like 50 yards. Like,
Jesus.
He gonna make a couple of throws though, in this fourth quarter to win us this game.
Yeah, he's gonna put his balls out there, but damn, if they don't end up getting chopped out by the end of the game, for real.
He had some. I mean, he had some games where, it's like they could only let him throw it but a certain number of times. Because the more times he threw, the more he got exposed. Like, man, he is really not good at this at
bad. Like, let's hope he can catch it now, right?
Yeah.
I try not to hate on the guy, but it's so fucking easy. Like,
I wouldn't even say hate on the dude. I mean,
I just like shit on him, talk shit about him. I don't actually hate him, but
it's goofy. This whole now 8 years later, your last NFL game, official NFL game, was 2012. Yeah, you were able to play in preseason for a couple of teams. He played, but he never made the roster.
No.
So his last actual NFL game, a regular season game, was 2012 for the New York Jets, where he was ineffective. He was not good for them.
No,
running the ball
and that's when the Bills were horrible, and we were still tearing them apart. And I'm like, well, we suck too, but this is worse. Like I almost felt. I honestly like. It's like you were saying. Like you like the guy. He's such a personality. He's out there. He's a guy you want to like, but he's not a guy you want to watch play football. Like he's probably a good dude for the most part and everything, but he's like, you get on the field and you're like, can you like sit down? You wanna get going now here? But man, I think actually this is gonna be nice for next week too, because we'll have Andrew back for the I'm assuming we'll have Andrew back. I'm not sure how his kids' basketball tournament situation is going because they're in Pittsburgh right now.
Hopefully they kicked ass.
I'm hoping so too. She's been getting better. They've been getting better as a team, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, no. So if he's back next week, we're definitely talking South. So we'll definitely have all the time in the world talking about the Jags and Tebow and
Yeah.
Lawrence and the shit show the Cons are running over there. And yeah, not only that, but the shit show of the Texans. Like, oh my god, the Texans are the worst right now.
Yeah, man. I think they're gonna be I think honestly they need to look to just move. All of a sudden, all the talk about Deshaun Watson has died. Like no one's even talking about him now.
No, I've been looking into it too, and I think there's reasons. I think people are getting hush money. To be honest, I think some people are getting paid to get shut up, and I think it's from Watson's camp at this point. Not just his lawyer, not just like other people. I think it's him personally being like, "Yo, I will pay you to shut the fuck up." And I honestly believe that at this point. That's something we are definitely talking about next week. Deshaun Watson and Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be a good episode next week.
Yeah, it should.
But shit, we've been running a minute, and I think we could probably end up calling this one. But next week, definitely AFC, NFC South. So we get to talk about Tebow. We get to talk about Lawrence and the Jags. We get to talk about Andrew's Falcons. The nonsense going on in New Orleans. Let's see how that's going to play out. Not Drew Brees there anymore. I mean, what even else is there to talk about the NFC South? To be honest, the Bucks.
Well, yeah, the Bucks, the Super Bowl champs. We could also talk about, like you mentioned, the Falcons. You got the Saints. Carolina's going to be an interesting team too.
That's going to be something to watch. Yeah.
And one team I want to see. I think one guy I really want to focus on, for good reasons, is Derrick Henry, because there's only been 8 dudes who have in a season that have ran for 2,000 yards in a season.
Absolutely.
All of them came back the following season and had significantly worse seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Even Barry Sanders than they did the year before. Matter of fact, every running back that has ran for 2,000 yards the following year has ran for at least like 550 fewer yards the following season.
And none of them have really gone over like 21 anything, like significantly over 21. So, I mean, they're still only hitting like 60, but still 1,600 yards a season is not shit on either. But, I mean, for somebody who the year prior, I mean, you got to figure that probably comes down to scheming, for that player. They're like, oh, this guy just ran over us for 200 and some yards. Like next year or next time we play him in the year, like we aren't going to let that happen. So they're probably, everybody was probably so focused on them. I think that's a big thing in the second year or the next year drop off. I think that's a huge thing. They're planning for that one person who's going to tear you up. That's like planning for Randy Moss, which I mean there's no point in that either, but.
But it's a little different with running backs because they run the ball X amount of times a game and they're catching out the backfield too, and they got to block too at times to protect the quarterback. So it's going to be, and Derrick Henry is a huge dude.
He's a big motherfucker, yeah.
He's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
I mean, most of your running backs are like 5'9".
Yeah, they're like my height and bigger. Yeah. Because I'm like 5'8", so I see a lot of 5'8", 200-pound running backs. Yeah, like both of our running backs for the Bills are like 5'8", 5'9", 210, or 230, something like that, So yeah, you see that everywhere.
Yeah, man, but Derrick Henry, he's bigger than a lot of linebackers in this league.
Remember like Brandon Jacobs too for the Giants there for a little while? Like he was a big boy like that too. He was like 6'2", like 230, some shit like that. He
didn't last a long time either.
No, he didn't. But I'm just saying, like some of them big boys, like they'll just have some crazy years where you don't expect it, and they just start running over people. Like because Derrick Henry, like he's one that you see his progress. Like he has gotten better just as a player. But he's also just gotten like a mother beast, like in general. He was not always built like that. You know? Like, he has just improved himself so much. But, yeah, that's definitely something we can hit on next week for sure.
It is going to be interesting because, again, he's one of only 8 dudes around for 2,000, and the following year, every running back, including Barry Sanders, has taken a pretty significant dip.
Yeah, same with Adrian Peterson, too. Like, he took a
Yeah, he
huge dip after that.
2,000 yards, and the following year, he barely ran.
Didn't he get hurt that next year, though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's
They
another
either
thing,
get
too, to
hurt-
look out for.
Yeah, they either get hurt or they don't run for as many yards, or
Yeah.
they just like Terrell Davis got hurt. The year after he did it, O.J. Simpson, when he did it, he went from like 2,000 yards to like barely over 1,100.
Which, that's a huge drop-off.
Yeah, exactly.
I blame a lot of that on our offensive line in 74.
Yeah. I always say O.J. Simpson has the real rushing record because he's the only dude that did it in 14
games. Yep.
I always say O.J. Simpson's the real.
What would he have done? What do you think he would have done with 2 more games, honestly? Like, you think he would have got to, like, 23, 24?
Well, he had 2003, and he averaged
Something
about
like that.
125. So he would have gotten pretty close to 23.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What's the record? What was the record now? It was like 2106 or something like that.
2106 by Eric Dickerson.
That's right, yeah. Yep. And what was Adrian Peterson was like 5 yards off of it or something?
Yeah.
Damn. I want to see somebody get up there again. I want to see somebody break it because that's insane. I don't think we will. We actually might, though. We got an extra game now. We got an extra game in the season.
Maybe Derrick Henry becomes that guy that breaks that jinx, and maybe he's the guy who does it.
Honestly, with their offensive line, I think they brought most everybody back except for Taylor Lewan, right? Did they bring him back? Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
They brought pretty much all their guys back.
Yeah. Taylor Lewan was the one I was worried about because I thought he got hurt or something too, but he was like one of their big pickups the last few years. But yeah, no. Derrick Henry definitely somebody to watch. Definitely somebody to watch. I would keep my eye on him. Ever since he threw Josh Norman, just threw him, literally like a little boy.
Threw him.
Yeah, like a little boy. Yeah, like get out of here! I baptize you.
Defensive players, when they see that dude Derrick Henry coming at them, like, dude, make a business decision. Make a business decision.
Yeah, like, do you want to get paid again? Do you want to be able to get paid again? Make up your mind, you know.
Hey, even if you go down and you try to trip them, they give you a tripping penalty. You know what? Hey, so be it.
I'll take the 15 over a TD. Fuck it. Because you might end up stopping them the next play. Maybe not.
Josh Norman, Derrick Henry has ended a couple of careers when dudes tried to do their job. Like, nah, bro, just make it business.
Don't tackle. I've always said this to you. Don't tackle a running back up high, ever. They have so much power in their legs, they're just going to run you right over. You got to take the legs out.
Especially not that guy.
Oh, no. That's the problem people had with Brandon Jacobs when he first came in the league. And then people figured out he's not as a bad boy as Derrick Henry is.
No, he's not, man. Derrick
Henry's Jacobs was a big boy, but he wasn't jacked like Derrick at all.
And he wasn't as fast. And Derrick Henry's fast too.
That's the other problem, man, because he can actually get away from you. Yeah. This is definitely, we got to look into this more next week for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, South is going to be a good topic. But I think on that, if you have anything else, man, I think that's a good episode tonight.
Yeah, man, this was a good episode. We were able to cover both West divisions. You know, you and I both agree the NFC West is going to be nasty.
Leaps and bounds above any other division, to be honest.
Division, man, like I said, Arizona's might be the best. Whoever finishes last,
they're like the best worst team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
in that division, though, like I said, they're just in the wrong place. They're just in the wrong division. They're
Yeah.
really they got real football players. But yeah, in the division with the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks, yeah, hard to imagine them finishing anywhere but last. Unless
Yeah, the
Kyler Murray.
last 10 years, or not 10 years, but the last like 6, 7 years, that's just been the hardest division in football.
Yeah,
You're right, man.
yeah, you could be last place and still be a good football team. You just wasn't your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree on that.
And all the quarterbacks in that division are solid. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Jimmy G can hold it down. He's proven that he could be successful. And obviously, Russell Wilson's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, and you got some good coaches in that division too. Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury's probably the worst of the 4.
But that's because he's just so new, to be honest.
Yeah, he's just,
That's like McVay's first year. Like, nobody expected him. Like, we were talking about McVay, like we're talking about Kingsbury right now. Kingsbury, yeah. But yeah, we were talking about him, like we're talking about him right now. But who knows? Maybe he could be the next McVay. Because I'm not wrong. Like that's where he came from, right? Right. He was the one who came from the Rams. Yeah. Then yeah, it's wholeheartedly possible. But then again, it's been a few years and McVay hasn't changed up too much, so maybe he's been figured out. Guess we'll see this year, right?
yeah.
That's all we can do at this point is just wait and see how it plays out, and hopefully we don't look like idiots at the end of the season.
But keep in mind, McVay, he's been their head coach for 4 years. They've won 11 games his first year. They went to the Super Bowl his second year there. Following year they went 9-7. Last year they went 10-6, won a playoff game. So
it's still working.
He's done a good job. That's his 11, 13, 9. He's won 43 games. He's 43, and so he's averaging about 11 wins a year there. So
can't hate on that at all. Yeah.
Nah, and he got them to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I wholeheartedly believed he could have won that Super Bowl, but that was just a shit show.
It was objectively a bad Super Bowl.
Yeah, just the whole thing overall was just no thanks. But yeah, man. Go ahead.
But yeah, man. This was a dope show, though, man. Glad to chop it up.
Always.
Guys with us tonight, Andrew. Shout out to you and your family. Hope you guys kicked ass out there in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, and hopefully you'll be back here with us next week, man.
Hell yeah. On that note, Dennis, always fun to shoot the shit with you guys, man. I am actually really glad that we had this crew come together.
Oh yeah.
So with that said, cheers to you. I know it's a little early for you still. It's like midnight for me, but yeah. Y'all have a good night, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll get some of these YouTube videos out too soon.
Oh yeah. Check y'all later, man.
Peace.